listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network, the home of Beacon Athletics. From the game-winning touchdown to the last-second shot, the Valpo Sports Radio Network brings you every game for your Beacons. On air at 95.1 FM and streaming live at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're live from Emory G. Bauer Field in the Vale of Paradise for today's home season opener, featuring the visiting team on the scoreboard, the 9-11 Milwaukee Panthers, who are coached by Scott Duffek, who is in his 17th season at Milwaukee, and the home team, the 7-10 Valparaiso Beacons, who are coached by Brian Schmack, who is in his 10th season as a head coach at Valparaiso. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Zach Collins, sitting alongside Addy Bates. We're just about 15 minutes away from the opening pitch, and now we'll start here with the Northwest Health Baseball pregame show right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network, The Source 95, and streaming live on YouTube because, man, is it tough to get an internet connection out here in the baseball press box. Let's discuss the last game for the Beacons as they just came off of a 10-1 loss in Saturday's series opener at Indiana State. The Beacons dropped both games in Sunday's doubleheader, falling 7-2 and 4-2 to round out the first Missouri Valley Conference series of the season in Terre Haute. The Sycamores have served Valpo a loss on a silver platter, as Indiana State has actually won not one, not two, but 22 straight head-to-head matchups dating all the way back to 2007. I think I was still playing T-ball at that point. Each team had 8 hits in the first game on Sunday's games, and the Beacons actually out-hit the Sycamores 10-8 in the later contest, but the hosts held the upper hand in the run column in both games. And, you know, Eddie, we're not expecting the same thing to happen in this game against Milwaukee as it did at Indiana State. Really, what do you expect to be the difference here in this game this afternoon?
Yeah, so we know going into this game, obviously, I think there's going to be a really solid offense. But what I think is going to be key is Ryan Mitz. Now, his last outing wasn't the best. He was handed the loss on March 21st versus Notre Dame after giving up 4 unearned runs in 2 innings. But again, this is the opening day here in Valpo, and I think this will be a nice, fresh start. If he's on his aim game, I think the offense is going to be good. I think it's going to be a good game.
I mean, he's not the best in terms of ERA, right? So he's kind of coming off of he's got 2 losses, hasn't had a win on the season. He's had 3 starts, appeared in 5 games of action. He's also allowed 15 hits in those 5 games, which averages 3 hits a game that he's pitching. Not the best in terms of numbers, but do you think the weather might actually make a factor coming in and maybe a luck in his favor in this game?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, when we woke up this morning, it was kind of cloudy, a little bit of windy outside, but now this is kind of ball game weather. It's a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining. In my opinion, not too windy, so I think this is going to work in his favor. And like I mentioned earlier, being at home, that really does impact the game. You might not think it does, but home field advantage really is a thing.
Right, and if you're wondering why we haven't been covering baseball on WVUR, it's because they've had 17 away games or even just, conference and series openers and stuff like that. We haven't seen them here at home yet. This is the first game that they're playing at home in Valparaiso. And, I mean, it's great. It's a great way to introduce baseball. You got a sunny day. It's not pouring for the first time in I don't know how many days here in Northwest Indiana. So you get some good weather. You get some good baseball. And Milwaukee, a team to compete with as well, as they're starting Owen Rice with a 2.45 ERA. He's had 3 appearances and 2 starts this season, has only allowed 5 hits and 5 runs, versus when you look at Mintz, 14 runs on the opposite side. So a bit of a difference. Owen Rice, a different kind of pitcher. He's a lefty, also different than Mintz, who's a righty. So do you think that the left-handed pitching of Owen Rice will even be a factor for Milwaukee coming in this game?
You know, I do think that it kind of plays some influence to the game, but like I mentioned before, I think Valpo's offense this season has kind of been spectacular when you look at some of these numbers. I think we have some key players to look out for. I think Nolan Tucker, whose batting average is at .354 for the season, is going to be really important. Even Renfroe, who has an on-base streak right now of 17 games. So I think if we continue that, bring it at home, I really don't even think that might even be the biggest factor. Like I mentioned earlier, if we have a solid outing by Ryan Mitz, this could be a really good ball game.
I mean, Ryan Mintz, if he just pitches the first couple innings, that's where he kind of gets his rhythm. He gets going. You're seeing him be a big factor in opening games, really when he just has a good start. And that's even most pitchers when you look at it. There's a couple pitchers, even in the MLB, who struggle in that first inning, but once they get it out of the way, it's just smooth sailing for them. Do you think that'll be Mitts here this afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to mention his last loss when I mentioned on March 21st, he came in as a reliever, and that's a totally different thing. You're coming into a game that's already been started. You're kind of taking over what somebody has left for you. If there's already some runs on the board, then there's already some pressure onto that.
Right.
When you have a fresh start as a starter out there, it's kind of just, it kind of goes to your own pace. So I think that's also going to be something very influential when we watch this game today.
So, Addy, actually, let's break down the series between these teams of the Panthers and the Beacons as Milwaukee leads 41-33 in the all-time series that dates all the way back to 1990. The last time that the Panthers visited Emory G. Bauer Field was in 2018. Different before the renovations, we now have turf in the infield, and they really have updated a lot of the facilities and amenities around the area. So, bit of a difference here at Emory G. Bauer Field, but all the most the same here, and the same kind of weather that they're playing in as well. Valpo prevailed 23-5 behind the program's highest run total in 8 years. It was a 7-run first inning explosion that set the tone, and Valpo a 7-run difference in the 6th as Jaden Eggman launched a grand slam and racked up 7 RBIs in one game. Valpo ventured to Milwaukee last season and dropped both games of a doubleheader, falling 3-2 and 8-3. The two teams will meet again coming next week at Franklin Field, the home of the Panthers, and also the home of the Milwaukee Milkmen of the American Association. So these teams are going to see each other once again. When you look at the schedule, it's a bit different because usually you got about 3 or 4 games that are lined up in a row. This one's just Milwaukee, and then they travel to Milwaukee, and that's about it. And there's a couple games thrown in there as well. So just a bit of a difference, but you also get to learn who this Milwaukee team is. Haven't seen them in quite some time, especially with the 17 games already played this season. So it's not like you're getting the first game jitters out of the way, maybe the first game home jitters for the Beacons, but different for the Panthers on the opposite end.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think this game's actually be really important when we're looking at when they're actually in Milwaukee. Now, we talk about when they played last year, falling 3-2. That's a close game. Obviously, could have gone either way. Then you have 8-3. That's a little bit too much of a difference there.
Right.
But when we look on the Panthers in this season, they are last in the Horizon League in conference. They are 1-4 right now. So I do think this will be kind of a big matchup today, and then it will be important for the game in Milwaukee.
And I mean, the game in Milwaukee, it's going to be a bit of a difference. And looking kind of into the future for Valpo's home schedule, they're going to take on March 31st Murray State. It's going to be a 3-game series. That game on 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd. Most of them starting at 1 p.m., but the first game against the Racers starting at 3 o'clock. And April 4th, that game at Milwaukee. And then they continue down in conference play from the 7th to the 9th against Evansville. And Evansville, a very, very good team this season, as they'll actually go into the conference standings, which, when you look at the conference standings, of course, they're brought to you by First Source Bank. Strong, stable, local, personal banking, that's First Source Bank. Evansville with a 16-7 overall record, and Addy, they're on a 9-game winning streak right now. The Purple Aces, when you look at them in terms of basketball, in terms of a couple other sports, they're not a dominant force overall. But when it comes to baseball, the Purple Aces just don't mess around.
No, absolutely. When you look at this 9-game winning streak, and then you look at Valpo, who is on a 6-game losing streak right now, I would say this game, I think any game is important to win, but ensure they can actually put up a fight against Evansville.
Right.
Like you mentioned, number 1 in the conference. This boost right here, if they were to take this game, I think would put them in a great position to play the number 1 school in conference.
And it's not even like Valpo's that deep down in the conference standings because, we're not that many games in yet. When you look at the overall rankings, UIC just ranking 1 game above them right now, but they've also played more games as well. So that's a bit of a difference there. And you look at even Missouri State, they're 11-11 overall. They're also 0-3, so they're all kind of tied for that spot. If Valpo comes for the game that's coming up in a couple days here, not just in a win or even not just in a non-conference win against Milwaukee here today, that's a big difference. And also puts some momentum back into your team because 6 games straight, it's tough to come back from it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you said it best right there. And like you mentioned, if they just win 1 game right there, they actually jump up not even 1 or 2 spots, but they're probably going to jump up a good 3 or 4, which doesn't seem like a lot. And obviously
Right.
It is early in the season, but in order to project them to do even better throughout conference this season, I think this game would be important.
We're going to take a break here as when we return, we'll talk about the opponents even further, the Milwaukee Panthers. Get into some of the keys to this game coming up here. The starting lineups and the first pitch of this contest will follow shortly after. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Valparaiso Baseball right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
There are sports bars everywhere these days, but there's only one place for award-winning jumbo wings, bigger beers, and better food and drink values all week long. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. We're so much more than wings. Enjoy wraps, salads, subs, seafoods, quesadillas, amazing appetizers, and awesome daily lunch food and drink specials. And now, when you can't eat here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
Why is Culver's such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Heinold and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse locations, or check us out at heinold-feller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service, because at our Heinold and Feller, your family matters to ours.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we're back here at Emory G. Bauer Field alongside Addy Bates. I'm Zach Collins, and we'll continue here on our Northwest South Baseball pregame show right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Let's actually take a look even further into Valpo's starting pitcher here today, Ryan Mintz, who has started his first 3 games of the season, one at Kansas and UT Martin, and at Little Rock before coming out of the bullpen of his last 2 outings at Southern Miss and Notre Dame. This start will actually mark his 36th career appearance and 12th start coming into this competition, and it'll be the first mark and the first time Mintz has started a midweek game, as his previous 11 starts has come as part of a weekend rotation. So a bit of a difference there, and a kind of interesting stat coming in before this competition here this afternoon, because, you know, a lot of pitchers, when they're playing, they kind of like that weekend rotation. They get into it. Do you think coming here on a Tuesday afternoon is going to be a bit different for him, or do you think he'll be locked in and ready to go?
You know, I do think there's going to be a little bit of both there. Yes, it is different kind of playing a game on a Tuesday, had a long day, probably even attended maybe a class or something like that, even classes yesterday, which of course this is college ball, so I got to mention that. But I also do think this is going to be a nice fresh start. Coming here, like I mentioned, the first home game, I think this will be a good start for Ryan Mintz today.
And we're going to pause, but stay live with you here for the national anthem.
Thank you.
And that was the Star Spangled Banner played live on WVUR 95.1 FM as we get into some of the starting lineups for the first batting rotation, which of course are going to start with the visitors, the Milwaukee Panthers. They're going to be let off by number 3, Luke Siddell, the left fielder, number 6, Marcus Klein, the shortstop, number 13, Aaron Chapman, the third baseman, number 9, Mark Connolly, the second baseman, number 11, Nate DeYoung, the DH, number 32, Tommy Benson, the right fielder, number 38, Justin Hauser, the first baseman, number 26, Jack Thielen, the catcher, and number 2, Ty Oljanek, the center fielder for this competition. And of course, pitching for the Panthers here in this competition, number 22, Owen Rice. Moving to the opposite side, starting in the field for the Valparaiso Beacons, number 15, Caleb Hans, the third baseman, number 1, Nolan Tucker, the second baseman, number 27, Kyle Schmack, the left fielder, number 30, Brady Renfro, the first baseman, at DH, number 5, Jack Skrine, number 22, Ryan Mecca, the right fielder, right behind him in the 6th spot, number 4, Spencer Warfield, the center fielder, number 19, Cade Reinderson, the catcher, and number 6, Alec Thurston, the shortstop in this competition. And starting here for the first time this season at home, number 39, Ryan Mintz with a 10.97 ERA, the right-hander for the Beacons. And Addy, we're about underway here at Emory G. Bauer Field. Any final thoughts before we actually start getting into play?
I know, no, it's actually fantastic. It's been a little bit since we've called baseball here, but very excited. I think this is going to be an excellent matchup. You know, even looking at these batting averages here, you have even these high numbers just sprinkled in everywhere. You know, you see a typical lineup, you see your top 4 batters, oh, they're going to be the best, they have the highest average, but then you're looking down, you have like Ryan Maka with like 2.286, which if you look at him here, he's a 6-hander. So going down, this is going to be kind of an interesting lineup to see, and it's going to be quite the matchup.
Some good hitters actually for both of these teams, stuck kind of in the middle of the lineup in this competition. I mean, Valpo's even offering up some good players down the line. I mean, even hitting in the 5th spot, Jake Skrine's hitting 279, even in the 6th spot as well as hitting 286 as Ryan Maka. Some good hitters hidden in there and some good opportunities offered up as well.
Then not even look at Milwaukee. They just have the same thing going here. Their 7th hitter, Justin Hauser, as you said, was the first base with a 296 average. So it'll be one good game.
And we're off to the races here as Luke Siddell steps into the batter's box, the right-handed hitter, and we're ready for the opening pitch. That one goes down right through the pipe for a strike.
I think that's the best way to start a game at the home opener right there.
Really can't ask for anything better. Deals the second, looks in, and goes down, notches in a strike. 0-2 count to start off this first at-bat.
No, this is perfect. This is just what we talked about earlier, just trying to hop on as soon as you can as a starter. This is what you like to see.
Siddell hitting 250 on the season, dealing with the third, just outside for a ball, 1-2.
And that one, I could even argue that one could have been a little bit close there. At least he's kind of commanding the zone pretty well early in the game. I know we're only 3 pitches in, but
hey, whatever works sometimes. That one coming off the plate, didn't swing with it, brings a 2-2 count. You know, you laugh a little bit. I mean, some of these broadcasts, and everyone in here can hear us, which makes it even funnier.
Not that one. Here.
That one pops out, goes towards right field, and that's going to end up as a base hit.
That was kind of the broadcaster's curse right there, talking about commanding the zone, and almost threw one in the dirt there. That promise I wasn't laughing at you on that one. More laughing at myself.
I can laugh at you all day if you want me to, but offers up the 2-2 count, ends up on first base to start off this competition. The left-handed hitter, Marcus Klein, coming up to the plate for the Panthers. Bunts tries to get it down the third base line, but ends up foul.
Now, that was something we talked about earlier, kind of showing bunt in this game. I mentioned, playing softball. That wasn't something that I did a lot because, 60 feet for the bases. But you talked about as a kid, that was something that you were fantastic at.
It was the one thing I could do well when I played, 2 years of high school baseball. I'll tell you one thing. I could not hit into the outfield to save my life. I was just one of those smack it and run kind of hitters, but that's why I'm up here in the press box.
Whatever works.
Klein looks, hits that one down foul in the right field line. Ends up with an 0-2 count for Marcus Klein. looking to deal the third. Tries throwing over to first, loses control of it. And Sadell going to easily run over to second base.
See, that's just one of those things, you know, kind of those errors right there, which Valpo actually hasn't committed a lot of errors this season, but just things like this, you don't want to give up any extra bases that you don't need to.
He tried with a pickoff move, but, I mean, really, you can't scoop up a ball that's coming in out of the AstroTurf. I mean, that's tougher to do than in dirt.
Absolutely, and of course, with Brady being right-handed or left-handed.
Hit goes out towards center field. It's deep, and he's got it. Runner does not tag up. They stay at second base, and the first out offered up for the Beacons early.
You know, if I'm the runner there, I don't think I was going to go with the cannon on Spencer Warfield in center field right there.
Spencer Warfield has an arm. I think he honestly could pitch it to home, and even a runner rounding third probably can get him out.
No, absolutely. When we were watching some of the warm-ups, you're watching him fire it from the outfield. I was like, oh, man. And it still could have gone some and some. Like, wasn't even a hop or anything.
Not at all. Chapman coming up to the plate for Milwaukee, hitting .361 on the season. Deals, goes inside for a ball, 1-0.
It doesn't look like Mintz is too far off. Just kind of actually, he started commanding the zone not that bad, but now that we have a runner on base, kind of losing it just a little bit. If he can just tweak some of those pitches, I think he could be kind of unstoppable.
Runner with a pretty big lead off at second, deals the pitch, offers up in a swing for a strike.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. I mean, you make him swing for it. Make him swing and miss.
Deals with a 1-1. Goes up high outside. That one also offering up for a ball. The thing about this is I could say what kind of pitches these are and kind of go into it, and if you really wanted me to, but the thing is a lot of announcers say what they're thinking that it is, and half the time it's never that. He deals, goes low, pitches it towards the third base line. Third baseman throws on over to first, and he's going to be out at first.
Wow.
What a play offered up by the Beacons to offer up that first out.
Renfro just kind of having to scoop it up a little bit, but a good throw by Caleb Hannes.
The 5-3 play offers up an out. 2 outs here in this game. A runner on third base. We'll see how Valpo deals with this one here. 2 outs. Left-handed hitter for Milwaukee steps out to the plate. Goes low and inside. That one dishing in for a ball.
You know, as a pitcher right here, when you have a runner on third, but then you have 2 outs here, you know, there's maybe some nerves there, but knowing that you have 2 outs and having a really good infield right behind you, I think this is like his zone right here. And as he showed it right there with a strike.
There was a strike on the outside. Just hits the niche of that corner. Offers up a 1-1. 2 outs left to go. 1 runner on third. Mid steals, goes outside. Ball hit foul. Goes right towards the Milwaukee dugout.
Make sure you're looking in the dugout side there. Man.
That was a beam on over to the dugout.
I saw a lot of people ducking right there. Wow.
I'd not like to be the guy standing close to where that ball went because I'd be ducking for my life.
Helmets on in the dugout, maybe. Man.
Mintz with the pitch up high. Probably trying to get him on that outside corner. The high pitch. So far, we really haven't seen Connolly go for anything on the outside. The 2-2. Takes his time, now deals. Foul ball hit right back to the backdrop. Still offering up a 2-2.
Obviously, at this point, 2-2 count, you kind of want to protect a little bit more, and I think that's what we're seeing there, having some foul balls right towards the Milwaukee dugout both times there, but good example of protecting the plate on that count.
Mintz looks, deals, goes outside. Now 3-2, full count, 2 outs. Top of the first inning with a runner on third.
It almost looked like Connolly wanted to swing at that for a second if you looked at it, and that was way outside.
Mintz looks, hits on over to the first baseman, and he's just going to tag first to end the top of the first inning. We're going to end the top of the first scoreless as Valpo is able to get a good start off here early. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you here, so stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Valparaiso Baseball right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
There are sports bars everywhere these days, but there's only one place for award-winning jumbo wings, bigger beers, and better food and drink values all week long. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. We're so much more than wings. Enjoy wraps, salads, subs, seafoods, quesadillas, amazing appetizers, and awesome daily lunch food and drink specials. And now, when you can't eat here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we're back here in the Vale of Paradise. I'm Zach Allen sitting alongside Addy Bates for some more baseball action here. Valpo able to keep Milwaukee scoreless in the first with a runner on third, able to get him out at first base. And good start for Valpo here, especially for Mensu. Hadn't done so hot in his last couple of starts here in a Valpo uniform. Gets a pretty good one here in the first inning.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I saw a little bit of hesitance there. Of course, everybody, when you're starting the first inning, you're going to get those little jitters out of the way. But obviously coming off like scoreless for that one, I think it was a good outing. I think he's going to settle in a little bit more in the second and maybe even the third inning coming up, so I'm excited to see that. But Zach, even look at the crowd out here today. We have some people with some lawn chairs along the grass here. This is great to have this kind of crowd here for the opening day here.
I mean, it's great to have this kind of crowd here nonetheless because it's not the best day outside. I mean, admittedly, maybe for us people here in Northwest Indiana, I mean, you're a bit different. You're from Texas, but this might not be the ideal baseball weather for you. But for us here, it's pretty good weather overall.
Yep, sunny and 48. Who could ask for anything more?
Caleb Hannes up at bat here for Valpo, the leadoff hitter. Strike right down the middle, takes it after that pitch offered up by Owen Rice.
You know, when I was playing softball back in the day, I never really liked swinging at the first pitch there, so I understand that one.
Pitch goes outside and low. That one offered up for a ball. I actually was one of those players that would take the first pitch, and that's why I'm not a leadoff hitter. Deals. Pop fly up high. It's going to draw out foul.
Well, I hope we have roof insurance.
You know, I don't know if we do. I like the sudden thud, though. It almost sounded like coming off a softball bat kind of thud.
I do. I love that composite sound coming off the roof. Ooh.
Pitch inside. Real inside. Almost had to tuck it in for a second.
You know, before I came here, I do want to say thank you to Emily, who's sitting next to me, who did tell me to park my car as far away as possible because of foul balls.
Ball offered up, 3-2. Actually, I have a great story for you here that we'll go over in terms of baseballs hitting cars and cars just being hit in general. So, pop fly goes out right over the head of the press box. So, if it hits my car, I'm actually fine. Someone hit my car a couple weeks ago while I was recording a podcast.
Really?
And came in and told me about it, and it was someone that that I actually work with. Not here. So, you never know what you're going to get. Ball goes foul right towards the Milwaukee dugout. So, honestly, if it hits my car and it hits that same spot or around it, if it hits the driver's side rear door, I'm just fine. I'm getting a new one anyway.
See, I can't risk it hitting the minivan.
That's right.
The iconic minivan of WVUR.
It's a good trip down to Indy.
Oh, absolutely.
Another foul ball offered up by the leadoff hitter of Hannes.
Man, it's 3 now.
Still with a 3-2 count.
I love it. I love this aggressive hitting. Just make sure you're protecting the base. I love it.
Rice steals.
Ooh.
And a ball. He's going to take a walk, heading down to first.
Baseman, number 1, Nolan Tucker.
He has 10 walks on the season, so that is his 11th. And obviously being this early in the season, there's only 2 other batters that are ahead of him, Brady Renfro and then Nolan Tucker. Renfro, my bad. But now we're at 11 walks here.
The left-handed hitter, Marcus Klein, coming up to the plate for Valpo. Owen Rice, the pitcher for Milwaukee.
Ooh.
Deals, it goes real inside. Tucker has to come out of the batter's box. Helmet actually falls off.
Wow. Of course, we heard some chirps from the crowd on that one. A little too close for comfort.
We'll see how Rice deals after the wild pitch on the first attempt. Tucker swings at a strike. 1-1 count.
Swinging for the fences on that one there. That was a very aggressive swing.
Almost like a Javi Baez kind of swing. Just trying to hit everything out of it. And you only got 1 runner on. You kind of want to pitch it and bring him on over to second. We'll see how Tucker deals with the second one here. Swings for a strike 2. 1-2 count.
Now, Nolan Tucker, one of those guys averaging .354, so it's not like he really needs to be swinging for those pitches that, you know, might be close to the zone. That one, in my opinion, from back here, of course, it's easy to say it was a little outside of the zone there, but I think if he just takes his time here.
Fouls off the next pitch. Still ends up with a 1-2. You know, the best thing about being actually in this press box is just kind of the view that you get of Valpo. You kind of don't realize where this is placed until you come here and you kind of look out. You're like, oh.
No, absolutely. I was talking to Emily. I was like, how do I get there?
Runner goes on over to second, throws down, and he's out. Hennis tries to go on over to second, gets thrown out. What a throwdown from Milwaukee. The catcher, Jack Thielen, able to get him thrown out at second.
No, absolutely. I mean, it can't really get much perfect than that. Hannah's aggressive base running right there, which I'm a huge fan of. But, man, with Thielen behind the plate there, what a cannon.
Deals inside for a ball. 3-2, full count. Tucker looking for an opportunity here with 1 out after the throw out, and Hannes gets tagged out. That ball's launched out towards right field. It's going to be deep, and it's going to be caught near the warning track for the second out of the bottom of the first.
It looks like it almost got lost in the sun a little bit for Benson. If you looked at him out there, he kind of looked like he couldn't see it for a second, which of course is going to be in Valpo's favor then, but interesting if that'll affect the game at all.
You know, I looked at it for a second, completely lost the ball. And I was an outfielder. That's the one thing I could do. I mean, I couldn't hit to save my life when I played baseball, but the one thing I could do is I could catch a ball in the center field. First pitch offered up for Kyle Schmack is a ball on the outside.
Played outfield for a little bit. When I was younger, I never liked it because I felt like I was so far away from everyone else. It's not until you get older, then they start hitting it out there a little bit more.
Yep.
You're like, now I'm a part of the game. But you know, when you're in middle school, you're basically just picking daisies out there.
Well, you're doing that. You're talking to your friend in left field. Heck, I still talk to my friend in left field when I was in high school. Maybe that's why I didn't go on very far. Now 2-1 count as a ball offered up, down low, outside. Schmack this season hitting .304.
Just another example talking about these high batting averages early in the lineup there. .304, nothing to be upset about, that's for sure.
2-2 count with 2 outs. Schmack looking to create an opportunity for the Beacons here early. Pitch is high and outside. 3-2, full count.
Now, speaking of outfield, Zach, now we have mentioned this before. Are you going to be returning next year to join the WVUR slow pitch softball team?
I will, yeah. I don't know if we talked about this, but strike 3 as Schmack swings. Doesn't get caught looking. But we're going to end up with a scoreless first inning. 3 up and 3 down. And we're going to head to a timeout. We'll see you right back here in just 1 minute from Van Wagner. This is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
Why is Culver's such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we're back here in Valparaiso, Indiana. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Addy Bates for this Valparaiso baseball action between the Beacons and the Panthers. It's a scoreless game here at the top of the second inning. Great day, though, for baseball. I got to say that.
No, absolutely, and it's a great day for some stir-ups. Look at this, Nate DeYoung bringing back the classic look.
Nate DeYoung also hitting a classic hit right down the left field line. That one goes deep and offers it up as he's now at second for a double.
You know, just looking at batting average alone, coming in with 197, but then hitting a double. Man, don't let the batting average fool you. Basically attacked that ball right off the bat.
See, I always try to tell people that batting average means a lot, but in terms of like some hitters that come up to the plate, they can just smack a ball like that out to the left field.
Oh, absolutely. And that was a prime example of it. I mean, that was a beautifully hit ball down the left field line.
Tommy Benson now at the plate here for Milwaukee, the left-handed hitter. First pitch offered up for a ball, 1-0. Benson hitting .242 on the season. Junior established in right field. Swings at the second, 1-1 count. Man, he was real swinging for the fences there on that one.
Wow, trying to crush it. Now another example, trying to bring back this classic look. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm hoping Valpo takes notes and brings back stirrups.
I'll be honest with you. The stirrup look, is cool. Third pitch offered up is a ball. But I do like the look, but wearing them is the worst.
Well, you know they've kind of made different ones that kind of like almost Velcro or attach at the bottom differently so you don't have to move them as much because I know they can pop up or anything like that very easily, which I'm like changing the game. Ooh.
Inside pitch did not swing as they looked to the umpire established at the left field line.
That was interesting because I didn't even really think that he swung or came close to that on that one in particular.
I think it was just the tuck of the elbow that kind of made him think, maybe there's a chance. He deals, offers it up, swings for a strike. Now we got a 3-2 full count.
Wow, Tommy Benson and Nate DeYoung basically on these pitches here. I mean, they're really trying to swing for the fences, in which, you know, the modern game trying to hit the long ball here, but even just working your batters around the base, I think, is what's really important. You don't need to swing for the fences all the time.
Looks like he went, and he does. Nice job on Valpo's side by Ryan Mitz to offer up a strikeout. Also offers up the first out of the inning. Runner still on second for Milwaukee as Justin Hauser, the first baseman, the left-handed hitter, will come up to the plate. Mitz looks, deals. Ball's hit foul. Probably hitting my car.
You know, I noticed right before he came up kind of a slight shift with the outfield. You know, you think with a left-handed batter, oh, he's going to pull it to right field. No, they shifted the opposite way towards left field, and we saw that with that foul ball there kind of going down the left field line.
It's so interesting how metrics work and analysis work from different players and just all the data they throw together in baseball.
It is. It's really changed the game here. Obviously, I think the biggest example of that being used in Moneyball and stuff like that. But, of course, they use that. But the shift, something we're not going to be seeing, really, in Major League Baseball this season.
Hit down the left field line, offers up fair. as the third baseman for Valpo, not able to get it as Caleb Hannes not able to get there. And Milwaukee is going to get the first run of the game as Nate DeYoung runs into home plate.
It kind of looked like he wasn't really expecting that hit right there, because I think if he really just would have dove for it, it was right there. Very close miss right there.
Catcher number 26, Jack Thielen.
Milwaukee now with a man on second, just one out. 1-0 score in this competition.
Now, I don't want that to be negatively, seen with Ryan Mintz, because I don't think that was a bad pitch. Now, that one was over the batter's head right there. But before that, I do think the third baseman, I think if Hannes just would have gone over a little bit more, kind of threw his body out for that one, we could have had a run saved right there.
Kind of just not able to get there. Is Hannes on the attempt? Just a pitch that kind of goes just short. Shortstop throws on over to first, scoops it up, and gets him out at first. The beautiful 6-3 play. Good job by Valpo to offer up that out.
Now, excellent throw by Alex Thurston, charging that ball, kind of getting as close as he can, just flipping it over to the first base. We have a runner on third, but it's more important to get that out right then and there, and you have a guaranteed out at first.
And the center fielder for Milwaukee heading out to the plate with 2 outs, man on third. It's looks, deals, goes inside, that one for a ball.
Now, I will mention this about Milwaukee is actually the great balance they have of right-handed batters and left-handed batters. I don't know if I've really seen a team with this. It's pretty much dead even, 50-50 with both, and usually you'll see a couple lefties tossed here and there. But no, if you look here, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left-handed batters, which is kind of remarkable to see on a team. It may not seem like a big deal, but in baseball, where right-handed and left-handed matters, it'll be interesting to watch.
Ball goes right down the right field line towards the first baseman, just pitches it and ends up with the out. Valpo able to close out the top of the second with just 1 run offered up and leaving a man on third are the Panthers. We're going to head to another break here. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Wings Etc., we love sports. So much that we packed our walls with tons of big flat screens tuned to the very best in sports programming. At Wings Etc., we love big, cooked to tender, crisp perfection wings. And so do our fans who have voted our wings best in more and more cities across the Midwest. At Wings Etc., we love beer. We love it so much that we have over 40 different kinds of beers in bottles and on tap, including your favorite regional craft beers. Wings Etc. at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
TicketSmarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than TicketSmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we're back here at Emory G. Bauer Field. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Addy Bates, ready for the bottom of the second inning here. It's a 1-0 lead early for Milwaukee over Valparaiso, and this being the home opener for the Beacons. They've got some good opportunities here early. Mintz is actually pitching a pretty good game to start off. You're only offering up just 1 run.
No, absolutely. I mean, you see that there's 1-0, but 1 run in the second inning really isn't a lot. And like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I really wouldn't say that was necessarily his fault. I know he's going to get the earned run, but definitely it could have been an out just as much as it could have been a run there.
Valpo offering up the second. Does not go of Brady Renfro, hitting .286 on the season.
Mentioned this earlier. He has reached on base 17 games in a row.
That's impressive.
Absolutely.
It's actually almost a rarity.
I'd love to see that streak keep going here. This could be the moment.
Strike pitch on the outside, a 2-1 count offered up. Renfro, a good first baseman for this Beacons team. Takes another ball, makes it 3-1. Renfro back in the box, ready for the pitch. Swings, and it's going to be strike 2.
Now, if we're looking at this and from a statistics standpoint here, batting average 286. He has 16 hits on the season, 18 walks.
Wow.
Wow.
Launches that one out to right field. That one going out, and it's gone. Brady Renfro offers up a home run, ties this game up at 1-1.
Like we mentioned, extending his on-base streak now to 18 games. Something we love to see here at VU.
Probably the shortest stint staying at the bases for Renfro. Just rolls around him. What a hit offered up by Renfro. You could even just see the right fielder looking at it as it's going out. And for a second, I lost it. That's why I could continue to not be able to see where it was. Got to get this pole out of the way maybe, and then we'll be fine.
For those kind of things, I usually go by sound. You just hear that crack off the bat, which is so funny saying that with aluminum bats, but just looking out there, it sounded great. It looks great. And like you said, Tommy Benson knew immediately. He didn't even try to run back to get it.
Dick Skrine at bat now for Valpo. First pitch was a strike. Second pitch there, just a ball on the outside. A 1-1 count.
It's a great example how just 2 innings in here. I said 1-0 really doesn't mean much. Now we're tied up here at 1-1 with Brady Renfro's big home run.
I mean, anything can happen in baseball. You can be up by 8-0 and somehow lose a game.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen it happen.
Oh, I've seen more than that happen. Hit goes towards the shortstop. Pitches on over a 6-3 play. Offers up in and out.
Next up for Valpo.
Jake Skrine tried to beat that ball out, just not able to offer up the opportunity.
No, absolutely not. Marcus Klein with that perfect play right there. Of course, that's more routine than anything.
Right.
Really relying on muscle memory there, and it was a perfect throw. It's a classic baseball out right there.
Left-hander Ryan Maka coming up to the plate for Valpo, the left-handed hitter. Lets one go down and low for a ball. 1-0.
Obviously, with his height, I know you probably can't, I cannot describe it enough on radio. With his height, he's not swinging at something that low, in my opinion.
Almost like a golf swing for him is what that would be. I mean, I'm not good at golf either. Maybe that's why I wasn't good at baseball, too. But even then, if he's trying to offer up the golf swing up, it's not going to be able to do much of anything.
No, absolutely not, because at that point, now you're risking a pop-up to, you know, who knows where, but
right.
Don't really want to be swinging at something that low at that height.
2-1 count for Mecca. Watches a strikeout outside. Now 2-2.
And like I mentioned, if you watch his body language when he turned around, he did not like the call on that one because he thought that one was low.
This one pitched down the right field line. Goes foul. Right towards the first base coach. Good hands over there by the first base coach. Able to scoop that one up.
You know, I mentioned earlier, back in high school, I was first base coach for a couple games back in the day.
Were you?
Yeah, I'm wondering if Valpo would hire me. My resume, 5 games at first base coach.
I don't know at a Division I level if that's going to be enough. I can ask a couple of high school coaches if they wanted.
You know, it's worth a try. Excellent hit right there.
Hit out in between right and center. Offers up in a drop ball. That one's for a base hit as he's just going to stay at first. The right fielder trying to dive and get that one down. Tommy Benson just not able to get that one in his mitt.
No, absolutely. And, of course, when you have the center fielder coming over there to back up the right fielder on the ground, he turned the first base corner. He thought about going to second, but when you have 2 outfielders right there who was one ready to throw the ball, I wouldn't run to second in that scenario.
Number 4, the center fielder, Spencer Warfield, now at the plate for Valpo. What a last name. This one goes back toward the backdrop. Addy, you actually kind of went back, even though we've got not only a net but glass in front of us. And you still push back and almost hit the stairs behind us, but you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I'm not proud of that one. I realized after I was leaning back that there was no way it was going to hit me.
A 1-1 count here now as Addy's on the floor. Oh, wait. No, you got it up. Okay, we're fine.
You never know. You never know.
I mean, you never know. It could just create an open hole and somehow break through the glass in some capacity.
Anything could happen.
Swings up high for a strikeout for Warfield, a 1-2 count. 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Runner on first.
No, it looks like
And gets caught looking. Strike 3, Spencer Warfield.
It looks like Milwaukee already has someone warming up in the bullpen right now.
Actually, it looks like you are right. It's number 21, DJ Coyce.
You know, that's very interesting. I mean, only allowing 1 run. We just have 1 runner on base right now. That's an interesting move, in my opinion.
Number 19, Cade Reinertson at the plate. Pops one up towards center field. That one's going to be caught. Takes the first pitch, offers up in and out. And Reinertson is going to end the inning here for Valparaiso. They are able to add on a run, make it 1-1 as we're going to head to the third inning. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry?
Howie's!
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, castrac.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
This afternoon's broadcast of Valpo Baseball is brought to you by Culver's. Enjoy the Culver's Deluxe layered with real Wisconsin cheese, crisp lettuce, ripe tomatoes, pickles, sweet red onion, and our signature mayo. It's topped with a lightly buttered toasted bun. It's our butter burger at its best. Welcome to Delicious. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Addy Bates for the top of the third inning. It's a 1-1 game. As Mintz deals, that one goes inside for a ball.
Now, I will say everyone out here working real hard today, but I don't know if there's anyone working as hard as the bat boy for Milwaukee. Absolutely adorable. Probably not even like 3 or 4.
You know, the best part about him was in the early warm-ups, he was walking around like he was like a coach. Like he had that walk.
No, absolutely. I'd take him seriously. If he came to talk to me about something here, trying to exchange lineups, I'd be like, absolutely. I don't think I'd question it.
No, I wouldn't question a single thing.
He was out there. He had his even glove at certain points when they were fielding. He was fielding. I mean, he's really trying to be a part of the game.
Fly ball goes in the gap, and it is caught. Beautiful job out in center field by Spencer Warfield to able to haul that ball in there.
Yeah, I don't know if I could have said it any better. They're just reaching for it. Again, that was another hit. That could have gone either way, but that was a beautiful play by Spencer Warfield.
Marcus Klein now up to bat for Milwaukee. As the Panthers have batted around the order already, this is the second batter of Klein. Klein pitches it in the gap in the middle. It's stopped by the shortstop. Pitch on over to first, and he gets him.
Wow.
What a play. Can't ask for anything better. The 6-3 play offered up by the shortstop of the Beacons, Alex Thurston.
Third baseman, number 13.
I mean, that was hit right back to Ryan Mintz, just going right towards the second base, and that was beautiful. These 2 plays back-to-back, really impressive.
2 outs. Chapman now at bat for the Panthers. Lets the ball go inside. You know, we never actually had a bat boy. We just kind of had to go and grab our bats in high school. We had a team that you see many with a dog.
Really?
Yes. I actually had 2 with a dog.
Wow.
Chapman gets hit. He'll go on over towards first base.
Here we have the bat boy out here again. I think the bats are actually bigger than he is. So adorable. See, in high school, usually whoever was on deck or something, they'd get the bat, put it in, like you
Right.
hand it over, kind of like a relay here of handoffs. But I do know there are some minor league teams where they've also had dogs doing that. And I think that's fantastic.
Connolly puts this one out to center and just takes it up and in is the center fielder, Spencer Warfield, in a short top of the third inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third here as Valpo keeps Milwaukee scoreless to end the third. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Heinold and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse locations, or check us out at heinold-feller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service, because at our Heinold and Feller, your family matters to ours.
There's no need to fear. The First Source Bank mobile app is here. As fast as a mobile deposit. Built to pay bills instantaneously. Powered to balance budgets. And with a simple tap, a call is placed for that personal touch. All this power is disguised as a mild-mannered app on your phone, ready to fight for your financial freedom.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we're back here for some more Valpo baseball. I'm Zach Allen sitting alongside Addy Bates here. We're tied at 1-1. Bottom of the third inning, Valpo up to bat. The ninth hitter, Alex Thurston, the shortstop, up to bat for Valparaiso.
Now, talking about that last outing by Ryan Mitz there, 3 up, 3 down, talking at the beginning of the game, just said, the first inning, maybe always a little shaky for some, then just got to get settled in, and I think that's what settled in was right there. Obviously, if they're making contact, but they're easy outs there, for me, that's no big deal, That was a beautiful outing by Mintz.
Milwaukee also changing pitchers now in the game. Number 21, DJ Kujos. He deals, goes right down the pipe, swings for a strike, a 1-2 count, now for Thurston.
Now that is an interesting move, in my opinion. You pull out your starting pitcher, ERA 2.45 on the season, only gave up 1 run, and you replace it. You put a reliever in. I think that's interesting this early in the game, the third inning.
It's something that you do typically see in college baseball. It's not a routine change in college baseball, but it's something that you get, and Thurston strikes out swinging.
The third baseman, number 15, Caleb Hannon.
And we're going to head to the top of the order here once again in the third inning. Just 1 out of Thurston. Caleb Hannes, what a walk-up song.
Absolutely. So I also work in the department where they're kind of putting all this kind of stuff together. And whenever we see the walk-up songs that they choose, I'm like, man, some of these are fantastic. We have someone that'll come up. I'm not going to say who has a Demi Lovato song as his walk-up song. There is an excellent mix sprinkled in throughout this whole entire team. You'll hear it. I don't want to give it up.
Okay, don't give it up. Yeah, I'm interested to see who it is. That wouldn't be my choice specifically. We didn't have a PA system when I was playing, so didn't have a walk-up song, unfortunately.
That's crazy. So when I was a kid and I was trying to figure out what my walk-up song was going to be, with the help of David Bates and Madden, I did choose a Franz Ferdinand song, Do You Want To? And
that's a good one.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. I loved it. That was my walk-up song.
Man, now I feel bad that I didn't have anything. Maybe I should have just played off my phone as I walked up there and just thrown the phone to somebody dramatically.
Yeah, it was one of the moms on the team. She actually brought her own speaker on wheels out there.
Nice.
It wasn't anywhere we went because it was a travel team at the time. She'd bring her little speaker and she'd blast them. I don't really know the quality of the speaker, but they were playing.
3-2 count. Hit goes out to deep center field. Runner's going back, and it's going to drop at the warning track. Round second and holds. Beautiful throw on over to third, however, to hold him there. Nice job by Caleb Hannes on the double.
Next up for Valpo.
Here's that Demi Lovato song I was talking about.
You know, I don't like to judge, but this is not the song that I would ever choose.
I think when your batting average is 354, you can choose whichever
you know
song
what?
you want.
He can say whatever he wants to me, and I'll just take it.
Now let's see if that actually helps him with a hit here.
Let's hope Demi brings him some good luck. Not Demi Moore. Demi Lovato. He looked at me for a second. Short hit. Pitcher takes it. Offers up the 1-3. Runner advances on over to third.
And so, you know, in my opinion, that's okay because we're moving the runner over into even further scoring position there. And it would be great to take the lead right here. Obviously, like I mentioned, they pulled their starter. They've gone to the bullpen here. Now, if Valpo were to extend the lead, as a coach, I'm like, was that the right move?
Right.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Kyle Schmack now up to the plate for Valpo. Actually played against Kyle Schmack one year, and they beat us 20-2.
Wow.
Yeah. High pop fly. Looks like it's still in play, and it drops down right in front of the Valpo dugout. Just lost it up in the air.
Looks like there was a bit of confusion on who was going to get that ball because that would have been an easy out right there. But Schmack, you said 20-2.
Yeah. I played for Counts, and they were South Central is where he's from.
Yeah, y'all got schmacked in that game.
Yes, we did get schmacked in that game. He schmacked that ball way over my head about twice. And let me say, I started to lose faith in our baseball team after, I think we went 2-24 or something like that. It was not a good year.
And that's why he's playing D1.
And that's why he's D1, and that's why I'm up here. But you know what? You got to respect the game.
Absolutely.
I cannot believe he schmacked it as many times. You know what? I'm never going to give this up.
We'll actually just put this segment into one of our new sweepers. Join Sports.
Join Sports as Kyle Schmack, as you can say him every single game. No matter what sport it is, Kyle Schmack will be there.
That's good. I like that tagline.
You like that tagline?
I do.
You know, maybe that should be our tag. Maybe we should just take a picture of Kyle Schmack and just put it all on banners and stuff and join the Source 95.
No, I think we'd get more listeners, at least for baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Pitch goes outside. Catcher loses it for a second, able to pick it up. Now a 3-2 full count for Kyle Schmack. 2 outs. Runner on third for Valpo. Schmack puts the bat up, is ready, and deals. Ball goes back, and Addy almost falls out of her chair again as that one goes over the press box.
At a certain point, I promise I will stop doing that. I did have to tell Zach during the break in high school, I used to keep stats. So being in the dugout is where I was. So we always had to be on the lookout because when you get one of those, a foul ball that's just a line drive to the dugout, that's terrifying.
And Schmack isn't going to schmack the ball, but he is going to take a walk as he heads on over to first base.
And if there was anybody on the team that I would want up to bat right now, it is Brady Renfro, obviously having that big home run to right field earlier in the game, and now with 2 runners on. In a perfect situation, I'm going to say, oh, he's going to do it again. But at least just, even one scoring would be perfect.
Renfro 1 of 1, as you mentioned, in this game with the home run. It is on a 3-2 count to mention as well. Takes a ball just a bit high.
That was a good eye right there.
I would have taken that one all day.
I love swinging for the high ones for some reason, knowing I could never hit them.
That's the one thing I could do is hit it and you just smack it down in the ground.
That's going to be Zach's new thing when he calls baseball now.
No one's going to know what I'm talking about, though, if I go anywhere. I've looked for many jobs, and if I start saying schmack, they're going to look at me like, why the heck would we hire this guy?
Yeah, I don't recommend maybe putting it on a resume tape.
Probably not.
I don't know if I would submit that one.
Another ball taken inside. Counts 3-0. Brady Renfro. Ready once again. Pitch offered up outside for a strike. Just takes it. Takes it like a champ, really, too.
Yeah, wow. I don't know. I don't think I would have swung at that one. That one could have gone either way from at least this perspective. Obviously, down there probably looks a little bit different. I can't see the entire batter's box from right here.
Pitches on over to first. Runner is safe. Taps the pickoff.
So back in high school, that was another thing. When a pitcher tried to, pick off first, and if he couldn't do it, the whole entire team in the dugout would scream, "Not his best." And so I'm going to try not to do that on air, because when I'm at home watching like an Astros game or something, right there, you go, "Not his best." Not going to do that on air, though. I don't know if that's necessarily something I need recorded.
I'll keep that on recording, so if you do it, I'll just replay it over and over on a broadcast.
Yeah, I want it to be like a button you press.
Okay. Oh, I can do that.
Wow.
Strike taken on the outside. Curve kind of back up and in. Now a 3-2 full count for Renfro.
I don't know how familiar you are with professional baseball players, but I've gotten a couple texts with Renfro up to bat, and they're all saying that he looks like a young Evan Gattis. I don't know if you remember Evan Gattis, playing for a variety of teams. Of course, being an Astros fan, he was with the Astros. I think he was with the Braves for a little bit, too.
Was. And 2 walks offered up here in a row by Milwaukee, walking both Schmeck and Renfro. The catcher, Jack Thielen, going to go out and talk to his pitcher. Calm him down a little bit here as coach will head out and take a mound visit here.
I haven't seen anyone else warming up in the bullpen, but here's a situation now. You have bases loaded. This is actually, as a coach, I would think, maybe we should get someone warmed up in the bullpen in this situation. Right now, like you mentioned, just trying to calm him down a little bit, because coming up to bat, we have Jake Skrine, batting .279 on the season.
Jake Skrine hitting the last attempt out to the shortstop in the infield. Offered up a 6-3 play for Milwaukee. Looking to change it up here as he's 0-1 so far in this competition. This is why I'm happy I keep book. And let me tell you, I haven't kept book in 5 years up until this point. So if you look at my book, you'll cry. But it actually makes sense to me, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, usually, keeping a scorebook is usually like a middle-aged dad at the game, just trying to enjoy like a Sunday away from home or something like that. That usually the people that keep books at a ball game, that's usually what I envision.
Is that who you envision of me? Just a middle-aged dad sitting there? Are you trying to tell me something?
Well, I was talking about last year when we went to a Cubs-White Sox game, and Garrett Willis, former GM here at WVUR, buying a sports book at the ballpark, and the whole entire time just sitting there, relaxed, kicked back, literally slouched in his chair, just him and his scorebook. It was freezing that day, too, and you wouldn't have known. He looked like he was in heaven.
Baseball is heaven.
It really is.
It's a field of dreams. Wow, that was the worst reference I've ever made on air. Ball goes into the turf. Pitcher throws on over to first and offers up the play. No runner score here in the third inning for either team. We're tied at 1-1 at the end of the third inning. We're going to take a 60-second media timeout. We'll see you right back here then. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, castrac.com.
Ticket Smarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we are back here, of course, in the Vale of Paradise. I'm Zach Collins, and I'm going to be joined here just shortly by legendary writer Paul Oren. No, we're not going to.
We don't have to say writer. Well, you can say legendary if you want to.
Okay.
Yes.
The legend Paul Oren.
No,
how's that sound?
This is great. This is great.
Now, Paul, I mean, you've been covering a lot of sports as of late. Of course, you've got men's basketball, a lot of news there, women's basketball. Now baseball and softball.
Hey, thrilled to be here, especially today. It's the home opener. Always kind of some fun excitement in the air at the home opener and against my hometown Milwaukee Panthers, which when I say that, it sounds like I cared or followed them when I was a kid, and I did not, but they are from my hometown.
Okay.
So, and thrilled to be here. And, yes, it has been a very busy couple days over at thevictorybell.com trying to get a hold on all of this men's basketball stuff that is going on.
There's a lot to it. Of course, I've been able to read your articles and be able to kind of look at some of the information you've brought forth. We won't do everything on here because, of course, we want people to go on over and read.
Yeah. Victorybell.com, $5 a month, $49.99 for the entire year. Gets you all of the content that you need, or at least all the information that I have, which is more than average at this point.
Ball head on over to second base. Offers up and out here for the Beacons. Good way to start off the top of the fourth inning.
Well, what's exciting is the little kid is actually running back to the dugout and straight to an interview for the basketball job, I think.
Oh, nice.
How awesome would that be?
I know. I think he's got some potential.
He does, and that's what you look for. No, there's a lot going on. Obviously, Valpo making a change in leadership at the head of the men's basketball program, stepping away from Matt Loddick after 7 years, and what this does now is it's a job that people want. I've heard from a lot of people in the last couple days. People with Valpo connections, people without Valpo connections. Although I'm hearing a lot more from people with Valpo connections, because why would people without Valpo connections call me?
Right.
But there's people out there. This job's coveted. There are only 363 Division I men's basketball head coaching jobs out there, and if you're into this profession, this is a job that you want. And I would imagine that if things are moving fast, right? They've got people, Valpo's got people who are making phone calls and trying to get in ahead of all of this stuff right now and reaching out to candidates, potential candidates for the job. I don't know that they're quite candidates yet. If that's the case, then we're all candidates, and Addy Bates could probably land the job as well. But they're making phone calls, they're reaching out to people, gauging interest, and then the Final Four is this weekend in Houston. Well, everyone pretty much gets into town tomorrow into Houston. Thursday and Friday are generally coaches' meetings, clinics, things like that. Got a blast out to right field.
Deep hit over to right field, hits the outside fence, and that's going to land as a beautiful double by Tommy Benson.
Tommy Benson is a local product here of Northwest Indiana, went to Chesterton High School, and good to see him. Well, depending on your perspective, but I'm sure his family likes seeing him get a hit here. I imagine he's got a couple people. There was a roar from the Milwaukee side of things when he got that hit. So Tommy Benson, DAC, Duneland Athletic Conference native.
DAC actually getting into a couple different sports here as of late as a pitch goes outside, and Benson is going to try to go over advance the third. He's going to be saved after the throw made by the catcher. Just scooped up by the third baseman for Valpo.
Always a scary throw in that situation. The guy's already going to be in third. The only thing that's going to happen is something bad. Or if you throw that ball down to third base, it's going to, kick up. Luckily, with the turf, there's not as much dirt problematic hitting the ground and taking a funny bounce or anything.
Ball goes in the gap. Shortstop gets it. Throws on over to first. Offers up the out, but the runner will score. It's going to make it a 2-1 lead here for Milwaukee over Valparaiso.
Brandon Vickery has often talked about the Victory Bell curse, and I have been on the air now for about 95 seconds, and there we go. We've got a run in for the Panthers.
Hey, ring the bell.
No, not when Milwaukee scores. You don't ring the bell. So yeah, I would imagine that you'll see some some news development in the next couple days. Probably,
Right.
I would imagine if Valpo does this the way that the timeline would appear to be, as a grounder to short here, I'll take over from now. And he dropped it. Victory Bell Curse is alive and well. And that was a hot shot grounder to short, and the ball was dropped. It looked like a routine play, and but because the Victory Bell is involved, it was an error.
Center fielder number 2.
Offers up in an error for the shortstop, and the saddest Paul Oren I think I've heard in quite
it's
some
just,
time.
You know, it's when stereotypes come true, it's never good, and the Victory Bell has been stereotyped as a curse, so that's what it is. But no, I think Valpo will take some meetings in Houston, and I would be surprised if a week from today there wasn't more clarity on what's going on.
Right.
I'm not saying that that's imminent. I don't know anything. I did tell my friends and family that I was basically not allowed to really do anything other than be on call for the next 24/7, and we'll see what happens here.
This ball hit down the right field line. Runner rounds third. He's going to actually stop at third. Looks like he was going to round it for a second. Offers up a deep hit out to right field.
That looked it's just like a little
What a
chopper.
hit.
That
Right.
I mean, what did I say earlier? That there's like no bad bounces on this field, and then that ball
And that
took
ball
like,
just took the worst bounce
like
ever.
a couple of bad bounces, and all of a sudden it's a double and second and third. Valpo's got a chance to get out of this. There are 2 outs, and this has been a rough half inning, though.
Runners on second and third, as you mentioned. Up at the plate, Luke Siddell. Tries bunting.
All right, I don't know much baseball strategy, but showing bunt with second and third with 2 outs is a flex. I think the kids call it. Let's see if he does it again.
Gutsy move, to say the least. This one outside. 2-0 count by Siddell.
He did not show bunt, but now he's in my head. I'm not sure what he's doing here.
Maybe he wants to get the crowd, a little alive, kind of put him in the brain of himself, which I don't know what he was thinking on the attempt, but something you never know. 2-0 count, 2 outs. That one goes foul after the hit by Siddell goes towards the left side. 2-1.
So there's some other sports going on too. Spring football just got started on Sunday. A couple practices in. Looking forward to sitting down with Landon Fox later on this week. We'll have more football content for you at thevictorybell.com, as well as a good feature at looking at Reggie Hecker of the softball team.
Wow. This ball's hit out to right field, and it's caught. Beautiful job. A diving catch for the right fielder of Ryan Maka. He's able to bring that one up and catch that one in. And, Paul, it's a pleasure talking to you.
Hey, that was great. Look, I'm going to end on a high note there. Valpo limits the damage, only gives up 1 run. Probably could have been 6. I'm going to take off now.
Thank you, Paul, so much. And we're going to head to a media timeout. We'll see you back here in 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
At Wings Etc., we love sports. So much that we packed our walls with tons of big flat screens tuned to the very best in sports programming. At Wings Etc., we love big, cooked to tender, crisp perfection wings. And so do our fans who have voted our wings best in more and more cities across the Midwest. At Wings Etc., we love beer. We love it so much that we have over 40 different kinds of beers in bottles and on tap, including your favorite regional craft beers. Wings Etc. at 501 North Silhaven in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
Hey, you! Don't do it! Don't take that job when you can have a career.
I'd love a career, but where?
At First Source Bank, we offer a variety of fulfilling career opportunities, schedule flexibility, good pay and benefits, educational opportunities for personal growth, and a chance to work with amazing people just like yourself. Join us.
Learn more at firstsource.com/careers. That's the number one, stsource.com. An equal opportunity employer. Male, female, disabled, veteran.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we're back here on WVUR 95.1 FM. I'm Zach Allen sitting alongside Addy Bates. Luckily, we're joined by Paul Oren in the last inning, and him even himself saying a bit of a curse in some ways, but It's always a pleasure to be able to talk with Paul here on WVUR.
No, absolutely. You know, he is part owner of the Green Bay Packers. I do have to mention that on any broadcast I'm on, I am on a streak with that one. My mom actually refers to him now to that as a part owner, Paul Oren.
Paul Orner, part owner Paul Oren. I can't even say it. It's so good.
Yeah, and then also the Victory Bell. Subscribe to it. It is the gift that keeps on giving all year long. Even towards the end of the year, I've won some prizes for it. I've heard rumors that I've created myself, actually, that maybe a Beastie Boys poster up for grabs later in the year. Paul, can you confirm or deny? Oh, it's denied.
Oh, it's denied. You just got denied on air. That is probably the worst denial.
But absolutely, please subscribe to it. It's a whole lot of fun, or even not a lot of fun, depending on how you look at it.
Ryan Maka at the plate. 3-1 count as he takes it for strike.
Now we see some people warming up in the bullpen for Milwaukee. Talked about that earlier. I was a little shocked that I didn't see somebody warming up earlier.
I mean, I'm honestly surprised that it took them as long as it has. And I'm also surprised they brought out the starters early as they did.
No, absolutely. Now Valpo with a runner on first.
Spencer Warfield, last got caught looking. 0 of 1 so far here this afternoon.
Maybe with the help of Rihanna, he can put one over the fence. Oh.
Hits it over in the third base gap. Able to get that one down for a single. And Rihanna
wow.
able to offer up an opportunity.
Wow.
Not only does she do a Super Bowl, she offers up singles as well. And not even just singles as in hits.
That was
this
a good
is
one.
Terrible music joke.
No, I'll give you that one.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad you did.
And as a DJ, I appreciate that.
Hey, thank you. I don't DJ on WVUR. This is all I about do. Cade Reinertson, the catcher, up at the plate now for Valpo. That one going high, almost above the head of Reinertson for a ball.
He was showing bunt on that one. Good luck getting that one.
I mean, I've seen things happen.
Wow. That one would have been like swinging at a piñata to try to hit that one.
If you've ever umpired a Little League game, it happens more often than you'd think. Showing bunt will here once again with a 1-0. Pulls back. That one offered up for a ball down low. 2-0 count. No, I had one in Little League because I did a lot of umpiring back in my days, and I had one where the ball was not only pitched over the head, the kid swung, hit the ball, and then hit the pitcher in the gut.
Ooh.
It was a series of events that I haven't seen ever again.
Wow.
Nor do I want to see ever again.
Series of unfortunate events right there. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, this is something you probably don't see that much. We have a sidearm pitcher warming up for Milwaukee now. Something that, in my opinion, I just kind of see getting phased out a little bit.
You know, it's almost something that has kind of been limited in modern baseball. A lot of the time, even growing up, you saw it a lot as looks like they're going to make a pitching change here, but we're going to stay with you here, of course. But almost something that is phased out over time, as you mentioned, was something that was kind of prominent at one point of time in baseball. I mean, even some great Yankee pitchers over time, some great Angels pitchers over time. We won't mention names, of course, but you know who we're talking about specifically. But, you know, just some differences that we've seen over time and something that kind of is phased out of the modern game.
No, and I think that'll be something interesting if they bring him out there. Obviously, just kind of seeing the pitch come from somewhere different. Another thing, you know, like some Marine pitchers, you don't see that like at all anymore. Sidearm, you see a couple more, but certainly not as much as traditional pitching. And it looks like, it almost looked like he was coming out for it, and he is.
He is. Going to see some sidearm action here on the mound. And a tight game with runners on both first and second. No outs here for Valpo. And Kane Reinertson at the bat for Valpo here in this game.
I'm kind of excited to actually see this. I love seeing kind of like the different styles. That's one thing I do love about baseball. No two pitchers pitch the same. No two hitters hit exactly the same. And I think that's just something really unique to the sport.
Right.
And right about to see a sidearm pitcher. I think that'll be something, of course, with runners, one runner in scoring position. This will be exciting.
They're going to bring in number 14, Sam Matthews. The right-handed senior pitcher, the side armor, is going to be on the mound. Going to bring up some good action here. So as he's going to warm up, we're just going to stick with you here. So, I mean, Addy, some good opportunities offered up on WVUR. We've added quite a few shows on the opposite side going off of sports, and we've got some even general manager candidates coming out for next year. And you put your name in the hat.
I did. You know what? I'm only going to be here for one semester, but I was like, why not? Kind of did a little bit of radio my freshman year, a little bit more sophomore, but I don't know. I think I live in the studio this year, so I was like, might as well. If I'm already there 24/7, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, you are leaving us, Zach, so that's something that's going to be really sad, not only just because you were a great general manager, but you've also done so much for the station even before that. I mean, you call almost any game there is. Like, anytime we need someone, you've been there, so it is going to be quite the change for next year. I do think we're going to bring back a lot of great people, though.
Of course. I mean, there's a lot of great announcers that I've been able to work with this year, and they're going to be coming back next year. I'm, of course, as you mentioned, leaving. Still trying to find a job, so if you definitely want a job, go to my website and definitely contact me, because I'll definitely 100% talk to you in this very moment even. But I love doing games. It's a thing that just gets my attention. It's something I love doing. And, what a lot of people don't know is we do this completely for free and on our own time. So it's something that I love doing. I could probably make a lot more money. The bank account would be a lot happier, and so would my banking companies, but they're not going to be happy because I like doing this a bit more.
No, absolutely, and I think that's been one thing that's really important is kind of like your passion and drive for calling sports, and it's something that we're going to miss next year. Obviously, I'm so excited to have a chance to call a couple baseball games with you this year. The past couple years, that's been quite a struggle here at Valpo.
First ball offered up by number 14, Sam Matthews, is offered up as a ball. We've until we got this new lovely audio board, our other audio board does not like to connect in any shape, way, or form to their Ethernet out here. My laptop's running on Ethernet just fine.
I think one of my first questions I was texting you earlier today. Everything okay?
Everything okay?
Do you need help? I had a feeling. Of course, I'm like, do we actually get Wi-Fi out there this year?
Thankfully, we do. I'm just using Ethernet because it is very fast out here, actually.
Mm-hmm. Showing bunt again.
Throws on back to second. Easily safe at second with the off throw.
That was a very interesting pickoff attempt. I didn't actually think he's taking that big of a lead off the bag, but also very obvious pickoff attempt.
Right. Reinertson showing bunt once again.
Oh.
Bunts it down low, goes right to the pitcher. Throws on over to third. Gets him at third.
So now that's something interesting. You have two options there. They got him off at third. I've seen other people in that situation. Do you want to get the runner? Do you want to get the runner ahead, or do you just want to get a guaranteed out? I think he also would have had a guaranteed out at first, but in that scenario, you have a runner on second, a runner going to third. You have two situations there that could go either way.
Right. I think just the ball placement itself. He's a righty, easy over to third, was able to get the out. It's actually the first out here of this inning. Still runners on first and second. Alex Thurston up to bat here for Valpo.
And I do think, so when you think of a sidearm pitcher and you see the way that he finishes, he obviously finishes way off the right side of the mound, and I think that also has something to do with it. His body's already going towards third base, so that's an easy out for him right there.
The momentum that comes with this sidearm pitching is swings for a strike, tries to go to third, and he's safe.
Wow.
What an attempted throw. Tries to get the tag down. I thought he had him for a second, but he's able to remain safe at third.
Kind of almost had kind of like, you think of like a hook slide, but kind of the way he was diving, kind of hooking into the back of the base there, trying to avoid when the guy was trying to third baseman turning around to tag him. It was excellent, 'cause now you have two runners in scoring position here.
Thurston swings at a strike on the outside. A 1-2 count now here.
Yeah, that's one of those pitches that you got to swing for. Obviously, a swing and a miss right there, but not only just trying to protect the bag, but that's just something you swing at.
1-2, Thurston looking to hold here at this plate appearance. That one goes right to the shortstop. He gets a stop, throws on over to first, And he's out at first. The 6-3 play, but the run will score.
Had a little bit of a juggle from Marcus Klein right there. Kind of took his time. He was bobbling the ball a little bit, but he still made the throw. Kind of one of those routine plays again, like I mentioned earlier.
And number 6, Alex Thurston, hitting a number 6, Marcus Klein on the play. 6-6. Now at the play here for Valpo, Caleb Hannes. Lets that one go for strike.
Now, I'd like to mention something. I kind of touched on this earlier. We're seeing something right now in the infield that we're probably not going to see a lot in MLB games. What do you notice on the infield right now, Zach?
Might be a little bit of a shift if you want to call it in that sense, but we're also kind of seeing it in the MLB in terms of outfield action.
Yeah, you know, I always knew there was going to be a loophole, and I'm seeing this, and I think it's fantastic because I was a huge proponent for the shift. I'm like, you know what, if they figure out something, then they're going to do it. As a batter, you need to learn to hit the ball the other way, in my opinion. Like right here, you have this opening in second base right there. Just go oppo. Learn how to do it. You can train yourself to do it.
Matthews deals that one for a strike. 1-2 now for Hannes. And I mean, you're right. The only reason I wanted to see the shift go is just to see what happened after. I wasn't even like hating on the shift. I wasn't liking the shift. I'm just a proponent of the middle, if you'd like to call it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I see both sides to it. I think there are other rules, in my opinion, where I see more one-sided. Like, I am not a big fan of this now timer. The 15 seconds, you got to pitch that ball because I think we've already seen what's going to happen to some batters. Justin Turner, I saw a recent photo of him. Face literally looks like he has a baseball stuck in his cheek, as he did get a lot. Like, he got hit in the face. I don't want to get too into details there, but man.
It was one of the hardest hits I've seen.
Ooh.
Now 3-2 count. The ball pitched down low. 2 outs here in this competition. Valpo with a runner on second. Still tied here at 2-2. Sam Matthews with
Just
the pitch.
like that.
Hit in between right and center, and the right fielder drops it. He's going to go to second, slides in, and a run will score. Valpo is going to take a lead as Reinertson drives on home. And a beautiful job by Caleb Hannes to be aware, not stop at first, and continue on to second.
No, absolutely. That was great base running right now there. Now, if you're Tommy Benson, you're sure, oh, this is a routine play, just kind of a pop fly to 9. Kind of bobbles it and drops it right there. But I think that was a good example of hitting it the opposite way. Like, he had to run towards it. I think he wasn't necessarily expecting it as well, maybe as he thought he was. And just like that, Valpo took the lead.
And I mean, you're right, though. He was able to pull it out in that gap. Good hitting lesson in that attempt as well. Able to just drop it down, but looks like as that one just fouled down. Not going to be counted as an error, however, looking at the Valpo Athletics in terms of stats.
Really?
Just says that he doubled the right center.
Okay, in my opinion, that's kind of one of those plays that should have been an easy out, but
it's interesting. I'm going to change that on my little scorebook that I have somewhat been able to do here in this game. And
wow,
interesting opportunity. So we're going to count it actually as a double. Instead of E9, we're going to count it as a double offered up for Hannes.
All righty. And they're bringing in a new pitcher here.
Milwaukee just looking for a bit of a change to kind of get back in this game here. Adrian Montova, the left-hand junior pitcher, has offered up some good opportunities this season for Milwaukee. Comes in here to kind of bring some things down, especially in terms of score for Valpo. They want to keep them where they're currently sitting at 3, as it's a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning for Valpo.
But, you know, we kind of talked about at the beginning of the game. I thought this game was going to be pretty close, and we're seeing that as of right now. This is your good old-fashioned ball game. You have your little fair share of a home run from Renfro, but then you also have some small ball action, and I love to see that.
Montilva only pitching 1 inning so far this season. 1 strikeout. He's allowed 2 walks on the season as well.
So in the grand scheme of things, this is he hasn't had much experience this season, so really could go either way. my wonder, are there still maybe, some of those early season jitters? Are there some nerves
Sure.
there, or does he feel confident to come in? I mentioned earlier, when you're coming in as a reliever and you're kind of almost having to clean up some other person's mess with some of their runners on base, that can also have its own nerves in and of itself.
I was a reliever, but I was more so a relief to get us off the field because we'd be down by so much that it was a relief that, oh, yeah, throw him in, we'll be fine. I usually could close out a game decently well. That's the one thing I could do.
When I was younger, they wanted to train me to be a pitcher. And they're like, well, like bowling and softball pitching, isn't it similar? I'm like, not at all, actually. No. I tried. I couldn't do it. It was terrible.
Pitch offered out for a strike to number 1, Nolan Tucker of the Beacons. Oh, 1 count, 2 outs, runner on second here. Deal swings for a strike. An 0-2 count for Nolan Tucker. He's got to be careful here.
Yeah, that was a hard swing right there. Knocked himself out of his shoes.
Monsilva holds here. Now deals. Goes inside. Drop third. Runs over to first. And he's out at first. That's going to be the third out here of this inning. And Valpo offering up 2 runs in the inning to put them at a lead of 3-2. We're going to see you back here in 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
TicketSmarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than TicketSmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we are back here in the Vale of Paradise. I'm Zach Collins, sitting alongside Addy Bates for some more Valpo baseball. Beacons living in paradise as they're currently up 3-2. Pitch offered up here. Hit over to the second baseman. It offers up a 4-3 out for the first hit here of the 5th inning.
Baseman number 13, Aaron Chapman.
Of course, we have the Milwaukee bat boy. Hard at work here. Look at him going.
Man, he is
running.
hard at work. I don't know if I've run like that in the last month.
Wow.
Oh, maybe, but not that hard.
No, I don't know. Like I mentioned earlier, I think he's been running more than any other player out here.
Another pitch taken by Chapman for a strike. Aaron Chapman hit by pitch on the last attempt at bat. This pitch outside here for Valpo. Offers up in a 1-1 count. Pitch goes outside, 4-ball, 2-1. Here's some of the fans here on our Matt Mike down low.
I know. I love everybody here. I know our sports director, Noah Godsoe, is going to be here at some point. I don't see him here just yet. But certainly the stands are full. Maybe when they were building this, they probably should have added more bleachers. Wow.
It gets pretty packed out here. I mean, you see some people setting up lawn chairs early, like, we've got room. We've got a lot of room. And then you see it fill up very quickly.
And I will say, probably one of the worst things in the world, sitting on those bleachers for 9 innings.
It's tough.
I know in high school we had those like little foam seats that you attach onto the bleachers. Not only that, being in Texas, there was a good chance, metal in the sun when it's like 100 degrees. That's not really.
Man, that's brutal.
You get some second-degree burns right there, but.
You sit down in shorts and, man, you get up quick.
Yep.
Head on over to third base. Offers up, in and out. 5-3 out on the attempt.
Like I mentioned before, plays like that, just kind of muscle memory. You don't really have to do much there. Just kind of let everything and just go with the flow there. It's a perfect routine out.
One thing we still haven't seen yet in this game is a double play.
Those are my favorite.
I love those. Calling those is probably one of the more fun things to do.
I think it'd even be bold. I kind of want to see like a pickle happen. Those usually it's never in the runner's favor, but it's always interesting to see.
You never know what's going to happen in those.
Really?
You can't replicate them over and over again.
Oh, no.
Hit hard. Goes short towards right field. That's going to offer up a base hit for Mark Conley.
Looks like we do have someone lost in the outfield, a seagull, knowing the closest sea isn't really that close to Valparaiso, Indiana. And we got to contact air traffic control for that one.
He's a bit lost. He'll find his way again.
At the wrong landing spot, that's for sure.
I know, we haven't seen too much out to left field other than down the line. If I'm going to pick anywhere in the field to go, I'm just going to go in between left center.
That's another one of those things, though. Got to go the opposite way. See a gap over there. I do think the left fielder talking earlier about picking daisies. He's only had very minor action out there.
Throwing over to first. He's safe. Still an 0-1 count. 2 outs with Nate DeYoung up at the plate.
Starting to feel a little bit more like the Oakland Coliseum with all of these birds out here now.
Lets one go outside. Currently a 1-1 count. DeYoung, 1 of 2 at the plate. Offered up with a double. Then right over to second base on the last attempt. Both of his hits have been out towards the right field side. However, no shift. This one, same thing on over to right field. This one's deep at the warning track, and that one's going to be out of here. Nate DeYoung with a home run, and just like that, the lead is taken over 4-3, Milwaukee over Valpo.
Once again, games like this, batting average doesn't really mean much. Designator hitter coming in, batting 197. And just like any baseball game, it could go either way. And now they are leading 4-3 after a very long 4th inning.
Nate DeYoung now just his 3rd home run on the season.
Wow.
Pitch goes on the outside high to Tommy Benson. It's going to be a 1-0 count, but, just like that, the game can completely shift in your favor.
Absolutely, and I know we were talking before that, not much of a shift there. The only thing you kind of see the second baseman kind of backing up a little bit more towards the outfield, and
Sure.
I think that was why. You saw him swing for that, and almost really, no question, again, kind of a power hitter, if I do say so myself.
I mean, usually with a lower batting average and someone who can hit like that, as this one's popped up high, goes towards the right fielder, catches the fly ball, and that is going to end the inning. Home run opportunity offered up by Milwaukee puts them at a 1-run lead, 4-3, as we're going to head to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we are back here in Valparaiso, Indiana for some more Valpo baseball. I'm Zach Houghton sitting alongside Addy Bates. And Addy, we're heading to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Milwaukee has turned the tides here with a 4-3 lead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were talking about earlier, anything could happen in this sport. And you know what would be really interesting right here? There is a good chance Valpo could either tie it up, even come off back on top here. But really, this game, quite the matchup.
Pitch taken, 4-strike for Kyle Schmack. Schmack in this game has struck out and walked. Has not had a hit yet in this competition. Hits that one, but it goes out foul. It was deep out foul. Even over the clubhouse.
I don't even know what's past the clubhouse.
Maybe some trees, some
saw
rocks.
some people running around there earlier.
Interesting.
I got to start screaming 4.
0-2 count for Schmack. This one goes outside. Offers up a 1-2. It's going to have season opener action here, though, in Valparaiso. And pretty great day for a ball game. As I would say so myself, Valpo hoping to take a lead here as they're down by 1 run, 4-3. 2-2 count now here for Kyle Schmack.
No, absolutely. You know, they came off playing some of these teams that you know were probably getting a little bit of better crowds. Southern Miss, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Little Rock, picking big crowds there. And it's good to see the big crowd in Valpo here. Obviously, this isn't big compared to other schools.
And Schmack with a deep hit out, hits the wall in center field, and he's got a double.
And just like that, runner in scoring position.
Big change of the game as Schmack is able to get the double. He hit that one out hard with a 2-2 count.
That is something that's been really fascinating about this game is the amount of hard hit balls into the outfield today. Some going over the fence, some maybe just a couple pop-ups here and there, but just like that, I mean, deep center being 400 feet for college ball, I mean, pretty impressive.
And you know what? To even mention, too, the wind, not too breezy out even anyway. I mean, it's kind of a rarity in Northwest Indiana to not have a windy day in March.
Absolutely.
It's actually a blessing more than a curse. Deals and hits the helmet of Brady Renfro, and he's going to jog on over to first as he's hit by pitch.
Kind of looking at that one, you see a ball coming towards you. He could have backed up or anything like that. He basically just turned around, dropped the shoulder a little bit, and he was just going to take the hit.
We've seen Adrian Montalva struggle a little bit here in this inning. He's got no outs, runners on first and second. Valpo's DH now up at the plate of Jake Skrine. Skrine lets one go up high, a 1-0 count. Skrine takes his time here, sits in the batter's box. Pretty big leadoff at second for Valpo. Skrine is going to take the second for a strike. Kyle Schmack, a pretty decent lead at second, and no one's even holding him on, really.
Absolutely. And then kind of giving, like, you know, Brady Renfro can get off a little bit further than he actually is, in my opinion, as he is starting to move a little bit closer to second.
Pitcher deals this one out. Offers up a ball, 2-1 count.
Kind of going back to Renfro for a little bit, coming into this game, obviously on base 17 game streak, now extending it to 18. And I think that was kind of why. Like I said, I think most batters probably would have jumped backwards. You see something coming for your face there, you're trying to get out of the way. No, he turns around, just lets him hit him in the helmet.
Take it like a champ is what they always say.
He's getting on base because of it.
We got ice in the dugout, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just fine.
It's all good. It's only your head.
That's the hardest thing to teach the younger ones about is, yes, you can be hit by the ball, and then you see him jump out of the way 3 times in a row. It's like, all right, maybe take the 4th one. I don't know. High foul ball goes over the press box after the hit by Jake Skrine.
That was always something when I was younger in softball. If I saw that ball coming for me, 9 out of 10 times I wasn't moving. I mean, I had, kind of like goose eggs on the leg because of it. I got hit in the ribs a couple times, and I'm like, you know what? That's a free base.
Free base. Yeah, you might have a big bruise for the next couple weeks, but you made it to base.
Absolutely.
Strikes out swinging is Jake Skrine. Offers up the first out of the inning. Valpo is going to bring on number 22, Ryan Maka. He's had a single and has walked so far here in this game.
Coming up with a 286 batting average here, so nothing to be too upset about. It's pretty fantastic at this level. Kind of one of those guys, if there's anybody that I'd want up to bat right now with a runner on first and second, this is one of the guys I'd choose.
Pitcher deals. That one for strike on the outside. Maka just getting a little bit, what's the word that I'm trying to even put here? A little bit too intense into his at-bat here.
Absolutely. Just kind of jumping on that one a little bit, turning back, looking at the umpire. He'd probably ask him a little bit of questions there because seeing it from back here, I would have think that probably would have been a ball.
Pitch goes inside. Runner goes to third of Schmack, and he's safe at third. Runner in scoring position with one out. Ryan Maka, if he can get this one even towards right field, that's going to offer up a good opportunity for Schmack.
No, absolutely. Now, something really interesting about this, now that we have runners on first and third, I'm actually shocked. Not a double steal right there. After that, I saw Brady Renfro kind of looking back at the dugout, kind of looking at his coach there, maybe like, oh, maybe I should have gone right there. Because as a catcher, I don't know if you're really necessarily going to throw to second when you have a runner on third, because then you have that chance of that runner advancing and scoring.
This one's fouled off. A 1-2 count, but also could offer up an opportunity because if that runner does go to second here, could catch the catcher off guard at times, but if he hit it towards the second baseman shortstop, could offer up as a double play as well.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot at stake. Even right now with the runner on first, you could say, oh, there's a chance for that double play.
Ball fouled off once again, goes towards the left side. Kid almost got it out there, though.
Oh, man.
Man, he was so close.
He looks a little disappointed. He kind of tripped and fell on the hill over here.
That's a tough hill to run up. If you ever tried running up that hill, it is not easy.
Oh, I think I probably would have fell before he did.
I would have fallen before I hit the hill.
Oh, man, he's disappointed. He was just hitting his glove and everything. Poor kid.
Pitch goes inside. Good take by Ryan Maka, especially with a 1-2 count. Makes it 2-2. Yeah, man, I feel for him over there. He was close.
You always want to be a part of the game in some way or some form, and I think he thought that's his prime opportunity. Kind of just missed it. Barely.
Maybe he'll get another one.
Oh, absolutely. I think how many have we lost today? Like 5 or 6, maybe a little bit more than that?
I'd say even more than that.
Yeah.
Maybe just in this inning alone 5.
If he actually wants to go stand by my car, maybe, make sure nothing gets hit over there, I think I'd be pretty grateful.
Maybe that's what I'll do. If I do a high school game, I'll just hire a kid. All right. Here's $5.
Yeah.
Go get yourself anything at concessions and protect my car.
What can that get you? Like a hot dog? Some chips maybe? Or probably a kid would get him like 5 different candy bars.
They just get the candy bars.
Exactly.
If it were me, I'd just get the candy bars.
I remember.
But then I'd have angry parents coming over to me like, why are you sugaring up my kids?
That was always one of those things when I was younger, working concessions. You know, when you play some of those weekends, different teams have to work concessions, and I always have kids. Can I have like 20 pieces of gum? I'm like, do your parents know this is
Your
what you're
parents
doing
know
with
this
the
is what
money?
you're doing with their $10.
Like, I don't think you need any more like blue raspberry bubble. Like, what was it? What was it? Double bubble?
Oh, the gum that lasts for like a whole minute and a half, and you got to spit it out and put another one in.
I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you do need 25 pieces.
Yeah, you do. 3-2 count. Maka looking to stay on board. Pops this one high out to left field. Left fielder knocking it down. Schmack tagging up. He's coming home. Dives on in, and he's safe. Runner from first advancing on over to second. And it looks like he's tagged out at second base. Man, what a play offered up. Thought he could be able to advance on over to second base. But Valpo getting the run to count as it was before the throw. Runner tried to just offer up another opportunity. So we're going to end this inning tied 4-4. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry Howie's. Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we're back here in Valparaiso, Indiana. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Addy Bates heading to the top of the 6th inning. It's a tied 4-4 game. Valpo able to get a run late there in that game, but the runner on first base taking off and getting thrown out at second. An interesting look, to put it at the least.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So at that point, obviously a runner scored. Do you really want to sacrifice, ending the inning right there? Personally, me in the past, I probably would have ran to first, rounded first, kind of make it look like I'm going that way, but obviously just staying at first. Because when you just have the ball, when it's right here in the infield with the catcher, that's an easy throw when he's already up to second. And we saw that right there where that was an out that really could have been prevented.
I mean, it really could have been prevented, but I see what he was trying to do on the play, but the catcher had the ball way before he even took off. I mean, there was a period of time where the catcher didn't have the baseball, and he could have taken off way beforehand. I think if he took off maybe even a couple seconds, could have offered up an opportunity been at second, but instead, he ends the inning.
Almost seems like he sat there and kind of thought about it maybe a little bit too much, and of course kind of hesitating when he ran to second and ended the inning right there.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I did not mean to interrupt you.
You're fine. The game's tied up 4-4 here. But, yeah, here's a new inning right here.
Justin Hauser at the plate. Swings, and that one hits on down. Now an 0-2 count for Hauser. We're in already the top of the 6th inning. Not even 2 hours have gone by in this game. It's actually a quicker game.
Yeah, so this is one of those things, I hear all the time. I mean, baseball is my favorite sport, and I hear, baseball's so slow and stuff like that. But I always feel like there's always something happening. I think there's something exciting when you see someone throw this heater and then come at, 20-mile-per-hour difference in the next pitch or something. I think that's awesome. It's the little things in baseball that I think make this sport very unique.
Right. Something I kind of do like being at, it's such a different pace from other sports, as this one's knocked out to center field. High fly ball and an easy routine fly ball, as that one's caught by Spencer Warfield for an out.
I mean, you call a lot of basketball, and I'm sure, the pacing of that. Talk about something always happening that you have to be talking about on air. This is probably a nice, relaxing change for you with you probably calling almost all of the games, both men and women this year.
I called a lot, and I just called the volleyball game yesterday. Boys volleyball starting here in the IHSAA, so
that's awesome.
Still not a state championship type of game, as this ball's pitched on the outside. Runner did not go, batter did not swing on the attempt, but it's a different change of pace because I was in and out in about an hour and 10 minutes. It was 3-0. Portage over LaPorte. Boys volleyball just starting up here in the state. I played it, and it was just a conference sport. Now it's kind of spreading out, the DAC getting into it, which is, of course, the local conference around here. Valpo part of it, Chesterton, Portage, other schools as well that I haven't mentioned, but a lot of effort. Catcher coming back here as a high fly ball is out on the foul hit as he just hit up. Nice job by Cade Reinertson to come back and able to haul that one in.
Those are always those kind of plays. When there's any kind of pop-up, usually the catcher is the last person I want to catch it, because if you ever look at that glove, I mean, there's so much padding, and which there has to be. So there's a good chance for anything happening. He was obviously the closest one for that one being a pop-up behind him. But, man, those plays, usually I'm, like, on the edge of my seat, because I'm like, oh, I've seen him, pop out of his glove before.
You never know what's going to happen because those are so hard to catch. And as an umpire, when you do Little League, they'll always throw you a glove sometimes if you offer up. And let me tell you, even for the Little Leaguers, it's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. No, especially as a catcher. I was a catcher for a little bit, only a couple of games, and I never realized, I'd get a ball in that glove, and I'm just like, did I actually catch it? Like, you'd never actually, like, really feel it. I'm like, wow. Which, of course, I know some other people, broken thumbs and all that kind of stuff, because it's a hard position to play.
It's hard. And not only that, a lot of people don't realize it's like if a car's coming at you at 97 miles an hour and it's like a mini car and you got to catch it, it's like a baseball. Head on out in between first and second. This one just pitches on down towards the right fielder, and it's going to offer up as a single.
No, absolutely. And talking about sports here, so men's volleyball, and now I will say this, that's probably something kind of like more regional. In Texas, that's not a huge thing where I'm from in the area of Austin, Texas. I don't know if there's really any high schools that had a men's volleyball team. And I know when you said that was something you played, that was actually like, wow, I didn't realize that was big up here in the region.
And really, if I'm being honest, it's becoming big. Illinois is a state that has really adapted it. And I remember my sophomore year, we played a few Illinois schools our spring season that we kind of had, and, man, they whooped us. I'll tell you, that's good volleyball. Throw on down to second as the runner took off. He's safe. Good throw. Was on point, but the runner getting the best of him with that speed of Ty Oljanek.
No, absolutely. I don't know if you could really ask for a better throw to second right there. That's always something, man. That's another play that, I'm always on the edge of my seat because anything could happen. That was beautiful right there, just not in time.
1-1 count. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Hit goes over towards the third baseman. Throws on over to first, and he gets the out at first. A 5-3 play to end the top of the 6th inning. We're going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
There are sports bars everywhere these days, but there's only one place for award-winning jumbo wings, bigger beers, and better food and drink values all week long. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. We're so much more than wings. Enjoy wraps, salads, subs, seafoods, quesadillas, amazing appetizers, and awesome daily lunch food and drink specials. And now, when you can't eat here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURthesource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. We're tied at 4-4 here. Valpo is going to have a chance to try to take a lead here over Milwaukee. I'm Zach Howard sitting alongside Addy Bates. And Valpo SID Brandon Vickery coming over and telling us that a couple of different things in terms of baseball analytics. That one of the double plays did not count in the last inning is what I believe is what he was trying to convey to us. He was trying to do it so quickly to everybody so that we all got the information.
Usually I think I speak fluent baseball, but wow.
I mean, he speaks so fluently that I thought it was another language.
It's impressive.
It was impressive.
He's always doing the most for Valpo athletics.
At one point in a basketball game, he sprinted like around the court to go tell me what happened on a play and what the officials decided on. I'm like, all right, thank you, Brandon. A text message would have sufficed as well.
Oh.
Hey, I appreciate the effort and enthusiasm that he brings.
No, absolutely. He's also another person here at VU Athletics. I also work underneath him, so I've done some of the social media, and he's always doing a million different things at once, and I'm just like, I don't think I could do that. Very impressive, honestly.
And not only that, he makes sure that at WVUR we have all the coverage and everything we need. So
absolutely.
Big kudos to him. 1-2 count here for Spencer Warfield. Lets one go outside for a ball, now 2-2. You know, the best thing about baseball is, though, we get to wear jeans, and we get to wear, like, sweatshirts and be comfortable. I think this is the first time in a long time I'm not wearing a polo or a suit.
You know, what's really interesting, so this morning when I texted you, I was like, oh, no, I hope he's not wearing a suit, because that means, you know, I got to whip out the old broadcast dresses from, like, my storage unit. Got to go drag those out. And then you texted me. You were like, no, jeans and a sweatshirt. And I was like, I like the sound of that.
Spencer Warfield gets caught looking for strike 3. Kate Reinertson, the catcher, coming up to bat now for Valpo. But, yeah, when you asked me that, I'm like, no, this isn't a suit and tie kind of convenience. This is stay as warm as you can in the press box and just relax a little bit for some good baseball.
You know, it's always interesting. I'm seeing, like, people out here in shorts. And for me, usually the baseline for me to wear shorts out here, I usually say if it's above 55, I'll wear shorts.
Wow. That's a bold move.
Yeah, I know. Everybody up here says that, by the way, which I was like, aren't you all used to the cold?
Well, we're used to the cold, but we adapt. We adapt with layers is what they're called.
Yeah, I'm very anti-cold, so I'll even be like anti-parka if I can.
Really?
Yeah.
But they're so comfortable.
I hate layering because, you know, you go and you walk into a building and then all of a sudden I'm sweating.
This one's fouled out. 2-2 count now for Kate Reinertson. But, yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, there's times where you walk into the store and you're like, why is the Walmart so hot today?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wait, maybe it's because I'm wearing 3 jackets and a hat.
And see, back in Texas right now, it's probably like 80 degrees. I'd be sweating out there usually.
Reinertson hits this one in the gap, picked up by the shortstop. Throws on over to first, holds it, and that one's going to offer up as an out. The 6-3 play offered up by the shortstop. Reinertson getting out at first.
Man, the hit off the aluminum bat, just something I have not heard in a very long time in person. Just hearing the dink, the dink.
I umpired a lot of baseball games, so you get used to the sound after a while. Pitcher deals for Milwaukee. That one ends up as a ball. 1-0 count for Alex Thurston. Thurston has not reached base yet for Valpo. Looks at this one, goes outside. Low corner almost looked like it was. Almost too good of a take for Thurston.
Wow.
2-0 count, 2 outs, no runners on. Fouls this one out. Goes over towards a little patch by the bullpen for Valpo.
Kind of, if you look at his swing here, kind of seeing him drop that shoulder, something that's becoming a lot more modern, in my opinion. I've talked to a couple different people. They're like, I'm not the biggest fan, kind of dropping the shoulder, because then you're just trying to swing just like that, actually.
This one goes out deep right field. On the warning track, then lands down. Lets it drop towards the field. He rounds second. He's going to third. He slides in. Ball goes past. Third base coach shouts him to hold up.
Wow.
What a hit for Alex Thurston.
Excellent base running as well. I mean, I don't know if there's anyone else faster than him. That was fantastic. I also want to give a little bit of kudos to the pitcher. They're doing exactly what he's supposed to, kind of being backup right there, because there was a chance that ball obviously went past the third base line, but he was there to back up the third baseman. That could have been the end of the park home run if we really wanted to say that.
Looks like that one's going to be ruled as a double with an advance to third. But they're labeling it as a triple on here. But I'm not going to put that down.
I'm sure we'll have
a correction. Caleb Hannes at the plate for Valpo. This pitch inside for a ball. Still tied at 4-all, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hannes looks at a ball. That one even looked pretty good from up here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if you could really ask for a better scenario here. Obviously, 2 outs. We have a runner on third here. We're going back to the top of the lineup, which is usually, that heart of the lineup that you want to be able to rely on.
Wild pitch in the dirt, or into the turf, as I will put it here. 3-0 count. Likely going to see a strike. We'll see what Caleb Hannes does here as the game has evolved, and you never know what's going to happen on a 3-0 count. Just going to watch it. Goes with the traditional style, as we'd like to call it. Now 3-1, 2 outs, runner on third here. Got quite a few fans here in the stands today. As this one's outside for ball 4. Caleb Hannes is going to walk on over to first.
It's the second baseman, number 1.
And then here we have Nolan Tucker coming up to bat before coming into this game, batting .354. Runners on first and third. So with the runners on the corners here, anything could happen. Obviously, you want to kind of pitch it into the outfield a little bit.
Just a little bit. Tucker so far in this game, 1 of 3, single out to right field. He's got 2 outs with runners on first and third. Tucker hits this one out, goes towards left field, and it's going to drop. Left fielder finally picking up. Run will score. Runner stops at second and third, and a nice job by Nolan Tucker.
For this season, Nolan Tucker and Kyle Schmack before this game have led the way on offense for Valpo, as the pair have combined 44 of the team's 150 hits through the first 17 games, and that's exactly why right there.
Just shows the effort that he's put into his game, and not only that, he was able to place that hit perfectly on the left field line. The left fielder actually playing over more towards center. Typically, we see a lot of left fielders play that line a little bit more, especially on right-handed hitters.
Absolutely. Kind of going opposite right there. That was kind of important. Nolan Tucker, several awards last season. He was named Freshman All-American by Collegiate Baseball Newspaper. He's also on the All-Missouri Valley Conference first team and MVC Scholar Athlete first team. Very decorated player.
Very decorative. Almost like if he had like a military uniform, he'd have quite a few patches on the side of it.
Absolutely.
Kyle Schmack now up at bat here for Valpo. Holds a 0-2 count. Schmack dissatisfied with the last call by the home plate umpire. Thought it was outside.
I have to agree with him on that one.
5-4 lead here for Valpo. Schmack looking to make it more. Runners on second and third. This one outside. Takes the ball. 1-2. This has just really been a back-and-forth game so far. Not even a high-scoring back-and-forth. It's one of those good games that keeps your attention.
No, absolutely. I love this kind of baseball. You have runner on second and third right now, but just slowly advancing the runners, just moving them a base at a time, maybe 2 or here and there. But this is the kind of baseball that I like to see. This is what I think kind of makes the game fun. I like the long ball, but maybe call me more traditional in the sense where I like seeing people kind of work their way around the base.
Schmack with the 2-2 count, 2 outs, and 2 runners on. Pitcher deals, hits this one into the turf, goes over to the third baseman. He loses control, a run scores. Runner coming home, he's going to slide in, and he's out at the plate.
He's asking for them to look at that.
He's going to ask for a review. Head coach Brian Schmack coming out to ask for a review once again. Umpires coming in. The inning looking to not be over yet.
Kind of looked like he hesitated just a little bit. Kind of something we saw earlier, and I think if he just, would have just pulled the trigger on that one, I don't even think this would be something we'd have to review. Another thing very interesting there. Now, that ball was hit to the shortstop, and it kind of looked like the third baseman kind of came in trying to get it, but in my opinion, that's the shortstop's ball. Maybe the third baseman just thought he had a little bit better of momentum.
Right.
But then bobbling it and obviously a run scoring.
I'm surprised that he took it actually on the attempt, as both umpires, the base umpires, are going to go over and review this call. Milwaukee actually staying on the field. Valpo definitely wanting this one because it'd make it a 3-score game. as the runner rounded over third and tried to go in home. I actually thought for a second he might have been safe at the home plate.
I actually agree, and I think that's the reason why. I mean, as soon as the umpire made the call, he had his hands on his head. He was saying, call it immediately, like review it. From up here, obviously, we have a different view than the umpires down there, but I thought he was actually safe for a second.
I mean, that's a tough call to make, too, because he's coming in hot. Umpire was already rounding, kind of coming over towards first base to try to watch the play on the outside. Had to kind of make a quick turn because the guy was rounding over third coming on home. That's a tough one to make.
I'm sure if there are people right now at home watching this on TV, maybe they have a better gauge of what this could happen or where this could go. But here on radio trying to describe this for you, wow.
Wow was one way to put it, that's for sure. But Valpo even leaving the man on deck, number 30, Brady Renfro, out in the circle. Right behind him, Jake Skrine. They're very confident that this one's going to go in their favor.
And, you know, that's one of those things when I say it can go either way. What happens if it goes the other way? This call is overturned. Let's say that happens. Well, then you have Brady Renfro coming up to bat. And if I'm Milwaukee, that's probably one of the batters that I actually don't want to face right now.
Right. And Renfro, I mean, he's got a home run in this game, but he's walked and he's hit by a pitch on the other attempts. So
it's almost like you can guarantee in his mind he's probably thinking he's going to do anything like he's been showing earlier just to get on base. And for Milwaukee, that's enough damage. I see somebody warming up in their bullpen right now. A left-handed pitcher warming up for them.
Fortunately, the numbers are too small to see from where we're at all the way over here. And as fancy as we are here, we don't have monitors and everything up here. We've got a couple of MacBooks and a HP setup to be able to give us everything on here.
I'll probably, maybe I'll invest in some radio budget binoculars for these games in particular.
Perfect. I've got some, actually.
Really?
Some foldable ones.
Oh.
Yeah, they're very interesting.
High tech.
No, I think it's from 1963 or something is how old they are. They're old.
Wow.
Umpire's coming back out. He's out at the plate. Valpo just offering up one run here. It's going to end up as a 6-4 lead for Valpo here to end the 6th inning. We'll head to the 7th. Lots more action to take place here, so stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Valparaiso Baseball, right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
At Wings Etc., we love sports. So much that we packed our walls with tons of big flat screens tuned to the very best sports programming. At Wings Etc., we love big, cooked to tender, crisp perfection wings. And so do our fans who have voted our wings best in more and more cities across the Midwest. At Wings Etc., we love beer. We love it so much that we have over 40 different kinds of beers in bottles and on tap, including your favorite regional craft beers. Wings Etc. at 501 North Silhaven in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we are back here at Emory G. Bauer Field. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Addy Bates, and we're heading into the top of the 7th inning, which is brought to you by Wings Etc. Grill and Pub, located at 501 North Silhaven and East Chicago Street, which have lunch specials featuring wings, burgers, wraps, rib tips, and more at amazing lunch prices. Weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop by and visit them today. Can't dine in? Order online at togo.wingsetc.com. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub in Valparaiso.
Did you say rib tips, Zach?
I did say rib tips.
Wow. All right.
And I will say, those rib tips, yes, they are a sponsor, but those rib tips are really good.
Hey, Wings Etc. They've hosted some radio dinners here and there, meaning one, but it was fun. Delicious food, great company.
It's great company.
Oh yeah, always.
We're gonna have to do that again as a staff.
Oh, absolutely.
We're back in action here as game was delayed for just a quick second. Marcus Klein now at the plate for Milwaukee. Lets a ball go by on the outside.
So back in the day when I played, this was usually the time of day, kind of the worst in my opinion as an outfielder. So you have the sun kind of setting behind us here. But kind of just, one, you can see the wind kind of with the flag. I'm looking at the wind right now, but the sun pretty much right in your eyes right now.
Right.
So we've been talking about a lot of these balls kind of hit towards the outfield. Just something to keep in mind. Could get lost in the sun here.
Swings on a strike is Klein. Now has a 1-2 count. I will say, though, in my time of playing baseball, I've probably been through more sunglasses than anybody else because I'd either break them, leave them, or destroy them. Not even just break. Drop third. He heads over to first, and he's going to be out at first base. Offers up a strikeout.
I had these very distinctive red sunglasses, and everybody on my team knew about them. It was funny. The first time we had like a night practice, and I took them off. I remember my coach at the time was like, "Whoa." And I was like, what? Because I never wore sunglasses other than for practice and games and stuff like that. I still have them. When I put them on, some of my old teammates are like, wow, almost a throwback.
Aaron Chapman at the play here for Milwaukee. That's a strike go right past him, an 0-1 count. Yeah, no, I never was recognized by the sunglasses. I would probably go through a pair a month. I already feel bad for my poor mother who probably bought me many sunglasses, and how many that I stole from my father, I couldn't even tell you.
I think that's actually how I acquired mine. I do think I took them from one of my parents. They're like, oh, we have some extra ones here. I'm like, I'm going to take them.
Yeah.
I never really got like expensive brands or anything because the odds of them getting broken were always so high. Actually, I bought my first pair of Oakleys a couple of years ago, and I'm very cautious about those ones. I used to break and lose just sunglasses in general, one of those things.
I lose them so much that if we had an over-under for how many sunglasses I lose as a strikes pitch there with a 2-2. But if we had an over-under and it was, 3, I'd go with the over. Like, that's how many I lose or break. I mean, even just this year alone, I had to buy a new pair because I broke the other ones. I ran them over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was not on purpose, and it was not a good time because it was a very sunny day, and I put them on top of the car.
Oh.
And it was one of those, like, you put the drink on top of the car kind of feeling, but it was sunglasses instead. They somehow rolled down, and I ran them over.
Oh, man, the odds of that happening, that's awful.
I know. Ground ball hit over to third base. Pitch on over to first. Offers up the out. 5-3 play. 2 outs now here. Valpo still with a 6-4 lead. The bat boy coming out, picks that one up, and he jogs on over. Now he slows up a little bit. He's taking his sweet old time.
I think he deserves that. I mean, he's been running this whole entire game. He's probably ran a mile. Oh, typical ball boy trying to get the coach's attention here. Oh, that's precious.
Can't ask for anything better than that.
Oh.
Ball up on the inside. 1-0 count for Mark Connolly. Now, thankfully, I will say that the sun's not facing the press box because trying to call games where the sun is in your face in the press box is not the easiest, to say the least.
No, absolutely. I mean, I've already attended so many games where the sun's right on you. You got this weird sunburn happening afterwards. Maybe it's like one time I was at UTOU football game, and I'm not going to talk about the score because it wasn't in my favor for sure, but the sun was just on the right side of us. So if you could imagine, kind of looking like Two-Face afterwards. I had sunglasses on, so I not only had a sunglasses tan on half of my face, but only half of my face was burned. It was probably the most embarrassing thing ever, but the things you do for sports.
Shot on over to the first baseman for a ground ball. He's able to pick that one up, and Connolly is out. A 3 up, 3 down type of inning in Valpo's favor. We're going to head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Valpo's still on top, 6-4. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Reinold and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse locations, or check us out at heinold-feller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service, because at our Heinold & Feller, your family matters to ours.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we are back here at Emory G. Bauer Field. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Addy Bates, and after a 3-up, 3-down inning, Valpo's looking to come back here in the bottom of the 7th inning, which is brought to you by IBEW and the Powering America team of Northwest Indiana. Addy, we've seen some good attempts here by Valpo. They didn't win the last review call in the bottom of the 6th inning as he slid into home. Was ruled out after the review. Valpo was able to add on a run in that inning, however, to make it a 6-4 lead. Actually, 2 runs in that inning, if you want to put it that. They looked to make it 3 runs, but weren't able to offer up that opportunity. Now coming up to the plate, number 30, Brady Renfro.
And you know, he's sitting right here, Brady Renfro. There's no other person I want up to bat right now. Kind of working on this momentum Valpo's got going. Obviously up 6-4 right now. He's reached base every at-bat.
You want the momentum on your side, and right now, that's what Valpo's earned. This pitch outside as well, as it's pitched outside, a 2-0 count.
And already just like that, someone else in Milwaukee's bullpen, I feel like I've been saying that, kind of like a broken record. Going through pitchers like I just mentioned. Very interesting. No, you said you ran out of room on your scoreboard.
I have. Number 18, Johnny Keller, now pitching for the Panthers here in this game. That pitch was down and low, swings for a strike, a 2-2 count now here for Brady Renfro. This one's fouled off towards the left side, goes over towards the hill. However, we don't see our little friend over there to be able to get that one.
Yeah, that would have been right towards him. Where'd he go? I saw him pitching earlier. I think he was trying to mimic, you know, kind of the pitchers in the bullpen.
This ball, a high fly ball out to center field. Pretty routine as the center fielder's able to haul that one. Nice job by Ty Oljanek. Fly out for Renfro. Now Jake Skrine coming to the plate for Valparaiso.
Obviously, that's something we haven't seen here today and out from Renfro, but rather go out making contact than not at all. I always remember playing softball the worst way, strikeout looking. I remember kind of getting in that car after the game and always feeling really disappointed.
Did your dad ever give you the look after those? And, I mean, you know the look. So like, you don't have to even describe the look.
You know.
As an attempt by Skrine goes out towards left field. That one's caught by the left fielder out in left field of Luke Siddell.
I think before the game, because my dad was actually one of the coaches for my team, and he
Mine was too, and you get the look. I know the look.
Always a classic. No, David was always doing the most out there. He'd always dress up in full uniform, almost broke his ankle for the team because he'd go out there teaching us how to slide and everything like that.
My dad didn't do that. He didn't have cartilage in his knee to be able to do something like that. If he's listening to this broadcast, I'm sorry, Dad, but at least he can play catch and he can hit real well.
Yeah. No, I know my dad's tuning in right now, but even growing up, he played catcher, so I was like, man, he's, yeah. And that, you know, bad knees with that one already, but
I'm actually really surprised because my dad was also a catcher, but he's got no cartilage left in his knees. I'm surprised your dad is sliding everywhere and doing everything.
He's always doing the most, you know, bowling league every Monday night, weekly.
And weekly happening, unfortunately, Mecca striking out, swinging. A 3-up and 3-down kind of inning there in the 7th. We head to the top of the 8th inning. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make.
My yard looks as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
We really are trying to create this homestead.
there are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, castrac.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Half the Milwaukee A's designated hitter, number 11, Nate DeYoung.
And we're back here in the Vale of Paradise, of course. I'm Zach Allen sitting alongside Addy Bates. And, of course, in the Vale of Paradise, it's coming springtime. You're going to need a tractor. So no matter the job at hand, Castonia Tractor has a John Deere equipment with the power to take it on. Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, Castonia Tractor has the mowers, tractors, and implements you need. Find a location near you at castrac.com.
Zach, do you have a tractor?
I have a lawnmower, but I do not have a tractor.
When you push or when you sit on?
Sit on.
Okay.
It's a John Deere, actually.
Oh.
From Castonia Tractor.
There you go. Perfect.
I told you got to support the places that support you.
Absolutely.
Them being one of them.
Zach, prime example of that. Wow.
Now, is it the one that my parents own and they make me use to do chore money, which I don't get chore money? They're like, well, you have a car and you have insurance and we pay it. And I more than respect that they do that because, wow, that would be expensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm poor doing this. All right, back to action, though. A 1-2 count here for Nate DeYoung. This one goes down. Looks like a slider as that one comes across the plate and a strikeout for Valparaiso.
Right fielder, number
DeYoung walking back very slowly, not looking too proud of that one. Understandably, but man. Kind of seeing some quick outs here and there. And, of course, now that I said that, probably going to have the broadcaster's curse right there. Probably going to have a 30-minute inning now.
But Grant Jablonski, hoping that it isn't one as the Valpo pitcher, deals the first for a ball. Tommy Benson at the plate with a 1-0 count here for Milwaukee. 6-4 lead here for Valparaiso. Now a 2-0 count for Benson at the plate.
It's kind of interesting back here. Probably a little outside, a little bit low there. Probably something I want to swing at.
It's kind of that pitch you want to reach out for and see if you could pull it out to right field, especially with the left-handed hitter of Benson. Now a 3-0 count. Likely to see a strike here. We'll see how Benson reacts.
On that last pitch there, kind of just like a rarity, kind of losing command of the zone a little bit outside.
And he's going to walk him. 4 pitches, all balls, offers up in a walk as Benson will head on over to first.
Don't think this is anything to be too nervous about at all. Just one of those things that kind of happens in baseball. If it were to happen again, that's when I'd have the catcher go out there, maybe talk to him for a little bit, calm him down.
If it happens twice, that's when it becomes a little bit of a troublesome effort. Runner on first, just 1 out. And an inside pitch goes to Justin Hauser. Hauser in this game with a single out to left field in this competition so far. Excuse me, it's actually a double out to left field. I was mistaken by how I wrote it down in my book. I've slowly learned of what I've been doing here in my book, and now I'm looking at what I did in the beginning, and wow, it's interesting.
Yeah, just looking from the side, I don't know if I can really read a lot of it, so kudos to you.
Well, you probably don't want to read a lot of it because, I mean, it is right. I do have at least that part, but
oh, no doubt about
it's just
it.
it's in a weird way that I've done it. 3-0 count now.
So the 7 straight balls that we've seen so far. Kind of hear some chirping from Milwaukee's dugout there, and understandably.
Now finally knocks in a strike, as after you mentioned, 7 straight balls.
Yeah, after, 2.1 innings pitched so far, and that's just not something that we've really seen. We've been talking about how quick these last couple of innings have actually been, just 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down.
Jablonski able to offer up the second for a strike. Now a 3-2 full count at the plate for Justin Hauser.
And now you're back right where you want to be. Full count, like you said.
Runner on first, one out. Hauser at the plate. He deals, puts this one down. That's for a ball. And it's going to be ball 4 as Justin Hauser is going to head on over to first.
Don't think the crowd is liking that call. Heard some booing here and there. I mean that was kind of like a unanimous booing from below us.
You always know when it's a unanimous booing that maybe it wasn't agreed upon by anybody in the crowd.
No, usually, you can go 50-50 either way, but that was probably could have turned the mic up on that one for everyone to hear. That was, wow.
It's always those moments where you don't turn the mic up and you kind of hear it in the background. You're like, man, people must not be happy over there. Runners now on first and second. One out. Jack Thielen up at the plate. Reached on an error. And 0 of 2 on the other attempts. Pitch goes real inside as Jablonski almost hits Thielen as he almost spins around, almost was going to take it in the back.
Yeah, wow. I mean, not even a questionable ball right there. Like I had to say, he had to kind of spin out from that one. But like we mentioned, there is a point where as the catcher, you want to go up there and kind of get your pitcher and make sure he's calmed down. Talk to him, kind of like clear his head a little bit. That's something I would like to see pretty soon. Oh, and looks like that's something we're going to see right now.
Brian Schmack is going to come on out. He's going to smack Jablonski into the dugout and Schmack another player from the bullpen on into the game, it looks to be. Looks like he's going to make a change. If I don't stop using the Schmack reference, it's going to be a rough couple games.
No, that's something that I'm hearing from a lot of people in here right now. Glad that kind of caught on a little bit. Love to see it.
Kudos to you for making a catch on. I've just kind of taken it and run with it.
Yeah, I come out of hibernation. I call my first game of the semester.
Like I'm just coming out of hibernation. I just want to see how it goes. Well, we did a volleyball game in the last semester together, and
yeah,
we did actually a couple of volleyball games last semester.
Yeah, some play-by-play with Ethan Decatur, which was a whole lot of fun. I think we were kind of in agreement that for next season, him and I, we're going to try to tag team almost every volleyball game that we can. Kind of just realize, sometimes you have that chemistry with another broadcaster and stuff, and he was just like, we need to do this more often. It was a whole lot of fun.
There's some that you adapt to, as Jablonski getting a talk with head coach Brian Schmack. Offered up a strike down there, a 2-1 count now to Thielen. Jablonski looks, deals. This one a high fly ball. Goes out towards center field. Catch is made. Just a toss up on in to the shortstop. It's almost towards the left center field. And that's going to offer up with 2 outs now here in this inning.
And that's exactly what you want to happen after you have that talk with your coach, some of your infielders right then and there. You want to calm yourself down a little bit. You come back, you throw a strike, and then you get it out right after that. You set yourself up in a lot better position than you were beforehand. We talked about earlier, at a certain point, had thrown 7 straight balls in a row.
Right.
But now you're locked in and ready to face the next batter.
Facing Oljanek. So he gets this one out to the second baseman. He loses it. Goes out towards right field. Runner rounding third, heading home. He's going to score, and now just a 1-score game as Tommy Benson touches home plate. Man, not able to grab it for Valpo's second baseman, number 1, Nolan Tucker. Not able to haul that one in there.
That was, to me, I was like, oh, there we go. We got a line drive right to the second baseman right there. That's going to be an easy out. And then what actually ends up happening is that the other team has a runner score, kind of shocking, in my opinion, coming from Nolan Tucker.
This one, a short one out to center field, short center field. Runner rounds third, heads home. A deep throw on in to home. Runner is going to be safe. And now we've got a tie game. What a hit offered up by Luke Siddell as he gets the double on the opportunity.
And it doesn't look like he's going to be pulled.
Shortstop number 6, Marcus Klein.
Oh. Actually, here comes the coach. Here comes the infield.
And head coach Brian Schmack is going to make a change. Grant Jablonski had some pretty good innings pitched here this afternoon. Pitched 2.2 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run. Also had 2 strikeouts in the competition as well. So had a pretty good effort come out of him, but just giving up 2 runs here is just tough luck for Jablonski in this competition. Actually offering up 2 earned runs, just updated on here.
Hey fans, your attention,
So
please.
they're going to make a pitching change.
No, absolutely. You know, as a reliever, when you come in, you're only coming in, let's say, 2 to 3 innings, giving up 2 runs.
Yep.
May not seem like a lot, but that's 2 runs too many. That's a lot for the little innings that you are playing. And he came out and he started looking pretty solid at first, but then kind of lost command of the zone there. Hit after hit, maybe a couple errors here and there that weren't necessarily his fault. But now the game's tied up because of it.
Number 32, Bobby Nowak, is going to pitch here for Valparaiso. Currently, we're sitting in the top of the 8th inning. It's 6-6 all. Valpo with 9 hits. Milwaukee with 11 hits in this game. Only 1 error so far in the competition, and that's pointed the Beacons' way, as we're going to see Bobby Nowak come in to pitch for Valparaiso. Trying to look on the season for Nowak overall in a Valpo uniform. Just kind of looking at some of his statistics overall. Nowak with a 2.35 ERA. 1-0 on the season in 7 appearances. Has pitched in 7.2 innings. Offered up 4 hits and 2 runs. 2 of those on earned runs as well, with 14 strikeouts and just 6 walks. So offers up a pretty good pitcher here and coming into this game, and looks like he can bring a opportunity for Valpo that they're going to need late in this competition. As they're tied all, it looked kind of like Valpo had some momentum going their way, as we mentioned a lot in this broadcast, but now the momentum kind of dishing over towards Milwaukee's way as they're on a bit of a hit streak.
And, you know, I kind of mentioned this before, but that's just kind of the beauty of baseball, really. Even when you think it's going your way, just like that, you have a tied ball game.
I mean, it could be a bald game.
Yeah, something
there's
like
probably
that.
a couple of umpires somewhere out there that are bald, or a coach.
Looking to our right now.
I'm hearing some anger from my right side, so I will hence be quiet. Strike on the outside. 0-2 count here. Up at bat is number 6, Marcus Klein. Dealing, and a bomb shot out to right field. That one's going to land out foul for Marcus Klein. Seeing Addy's face get a little red over here, so we're actually going to dish that little down. All right. Let her get it out for a little bit here as he deals a foul ball. High pitch, actually, by Marcus Klein. Excuse me, high hit attempt by Marcus Klein. High pitch by Bobby Nowak with the 0-2 count, 2 outs. Runners on second and third for Milwaukee.
Do apologize for going MIA for a bit. I already knew if Paul Orrin was going to be in here. I already laugh at anything he says in general, but then with the mixture of JP here, it's really like, I feel like I'm watching some. Always got to promote local reporters here. Especially the bald ones.
You know, I do have a full head of hair, so I don't know if someone's going to come over here and do something to it. No? Okay. All right, one's saying Clippers, the other one's saying no, so I might hide after the game. And tap look, strike 3, gets caught swinging.
2 runs, 2 hits, 2 left for Milwaukee.
And Milwaukee able to tie things up here in the top of the 8th inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Valpo is going to look for an answer here. We'll see you back in 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Ticket Smarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at Ticketsmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we're back here in the Vale of Paradise. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Addy Bates. And, well, it's the bottom of the 8th inning. Why not crack a cold one? As today's broadcast is brought to you by Valpo Baseball and Calumet Brewing, as well as Bud Light. It's for the fans. And the fans excited to see what happens here in the last inning and a half.
Absolutely.
In this game.
I mean, this game, it's kind of getting fired up here. We've mentioned before, we got a big crowd here today, which is always good to see. Got some kids out here playing ball, kind of throwing the ball with one another. I think that's just another thing I really love. It's kind of the whole family out here watching a good ball game, first ball game at home of the season.
Spencer Warfield now at the plate, takes a strike on the first attempt. Still tied at 6-all here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Warfield watches a curveball go on outside. That's one that I can't tell that it was.
I remember last year kind of going to the learn how to call sports event. Oh.
Gets hit hard on the pitch. Warfield would advance on over to first. Took it like a champ.
Wow, you know, if this is a major league game, they're already clearing the benches at that point.
I mean, for a pitch to make me even react to it it's something.
Wow. That one's going to leave a mark.
Kate Reinertson now at the play here for the Beacons has not had a hit yet this afternoon. Shows bunt, pitches outside for a ball. Reinertson so far hitting .222, .289 slugging percentage on the season. Shows bunt here once again. Throw on over to first. Warfield is safe. He's back in time.
Wouldn't be a Valpo ball game without the trains running through town in the middle of the game now.
No, it wouldn't be. A bunt down low. Gets to the pitcher, and just a toss over to first base, offers up and an out, but the runner will advance on over to second.
And obviously that's the most important thing you want to see when you show bunt right there, kind of advancing that runner, because obviously moving from first, now you have a runner in scoring position. This late in the game, you kind of need some runs.
One thing I did not mention is, well, Milwaukee making a pitching change. Nick Gilhouse now in the game, the junior right-hander with one out. Dealing with number 6, Alex Thurston at the plate. Takes one outside, a 1-0 count. Tied at 6-all here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Gilhouse looks. This one's going to be fouled off to the right side. Goes in the gap where, well, there's no return, if we want to put it that way. 1-1 count here for Thurston. Runner at second. Starting to get a bit chillier up here in the press box.
Yeah, you noticed that too.
I did notice that. When your toes start getting a bit cold, you notice things.
You know, when I first came in here, I was like, yeah, it's actually kind of hot in here. Oh, sweating.
You're in a T-shirt in here, and I'm like wearing a North Face all bundled up. Gilhouse throws on over to second. Runner's back in time. Hey, you come in here in a T-shirt. I'm like, I'm from the Midwest. You're from Texas. This is wrong.
I was wearing a T-shirt. I was sweating. And now I'm kind of promoting the wrong sport, but that's okay.
Hey, hockey's okay.
That's one team that I was like, you know what? That's what we should bring to Valpo, a hockey team. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
A heck of an investment, that's for sure.
That would be. That might be too much of an investment that they would be willing to make at the moment. Thurston with a 3-1 count, one out, runner at second. Gets this one to the shortstop, bobbles it for a second, throws on over to first, and he's out at first. The 6-3 play, what a play by the shortstop, Marcus Klein, able to bobble it for a second, pull it in, and able to make a beautiful throw on over to Justin Hauser.
No, absolutely. But also most importantly on that play, advancing the runner once again. I keep bringing that up, but right now when you're in the 8th inning here and it's tied 6-6, you have a runner on third. That's a huge deal. Just one more run really could make all the difference here.
And with a runner at third, Caleb Hannes at the plate creates an opportunity here for Valpo, as he's had a double so far here in this competition. 2 outs, runner on third. Hannes with a 1-0 count, make that 2-0 as he watches that one go by as well. Hannes hitting .254 on the season, a .343 slugging percentage. Hits .300 with 2 men out. Pitch goes outside corner for a strike. 2-1 now for Caleb Hannes.
Like I mentioned before, kind of this part of the lineup and this kind of clutch situation, this is kind of where you want to be right now.
This one a high fly ball out to center field. This one goes back, but is going to be caught by the center fielder. And that's going to end the bottom of the 8th inning. Oljanek catching that ball for Milwaukee. We got just 1 inning left. You never know what can happen here as we're going to head to the top of the 9th. We're tied at 6-all. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
Why is Culver's such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we're back here in Valparaiso, Indiana at Emory G. Bauer Field. I'm Zach Allen sitting alongside Addy Bates. We're heading to the top of the 9th inning for some more baseball action. Tied at 6-all, Milwaukee coming up to bat here as Aaron Chapman, the third baseman, is in the right batter's box.
Now, it's kind of crazy to think that going into this 9th inning, 6-all.
High fly ball goes out to left field. A fielder steps back, able to haul that one in. Nice job by Kyle Schmeck to be able to get that ball in for the first out of the inning.
No, absolutely. Kind of just those quick batters right there. Pop up, little can of corn right there. Hopefully a little bit of a 3-up, 3-down action we can see here. We've seen a couple of those today. Maybe just, we did see a couple. Don't want at this point for it to get those long innings again.
Right.
Towards the end of the game. It's getting a little colder here. I see some people are starting to pack up. I don't know if they bundled up correctly, but.
Nowak with a strike on the outside corner. And, it's starting to get to that point here in Indiana where it's getting a bit darker, a bit colder. Low of 30 degrees here tonight. Hopefully we don't reach to those temperatures. Because I'll tell you one thing, that ain't warm.
No. Yeah, 30 degrees, and we're almost in April. That's still something I'm a little new to. That's crazy.
Pitch, and he gets caught looking for strike 3. Strikes out at the plate. Nice job by Bobby Nowak to offer up that opportunity for a strikeout. 2 up, and now Nate DeYoung looking for an opportunity to keep the Panthers in this game because Valpo could come to the bottom of the 9th inning and just get 1 run and take a win.
No, absolutely. And, of course, the strikeout looking, man, that's when you're a kid, of course, like I mentioned before, that's when your dad's looking at you like, Kind of disappointed right there, and especially in this kind of situation here where you don't have a lot of game left. Definitely not the way you want to get out if you were to get out.
The 1-0 offers up a high fly ball. Third baseman coming off and makes the catch. Nice job by Caleb Hannes to get that catch. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the ninth. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we're back for the bottom of the ninth inning. Valpo's got a chance to take this game as it's currently 6-all. They're going to bring up Nolan Tucker, the second baseman, to the plate to start off this ninth inning. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Addy Bates, and Tucker, Addy, the last time he was up, had a double, so he's got a good opportunity coming here. And when he leads off an inning, he's hitting .429 on the season.
Wow, and obviously coming into this game batting .354, I've already mentioned his various accolades, and look at that hit right there.
Short one out to right field, offers up a single, and that's a base hit starting off for Tucker. Can't ask for a better opportunity to start off an inning.
No, absolutely. Obviously, Milwaukee kind of going 3 up, 3 down there. Then Valpo comes back up to bat, immediately gets a runner on first. Couldn't ask for a better situation. In my opinion, just kind of get on base right now.
Nick Galhouse looking to stop Valpo on this opportunity for Milwaukee. Kyle Schmack for just the opposite, looking to advance the runner and take a win. Schmack in his last at-bat had a single. Swings at the first one, misses for a strike. And even the one before that, too, Addy, offered up a double.
No, absolutely. Now he's looking at his swing right here. In my opinion, that is a beautiful swing, just kind of swinging all the way through there. Not necessarily dropping the shoulder as much as some of the other players I was seeing.
But you got to swing on one like that as that one goes right down the pipe. An 0-2 count here for Schmack. Runner on first, no outs. Gilhouse looks. Throws on over to first. Safe at first is Tucker as he's back in time.
Of course, normally this is where I mentioned back at home. Not his best. Haven't picked him off yet.
Not yet. We haven't seen a pickoff yet in this competition. Gilhouse deals. Slider goes outside. 1-2 count now here for Schmack.
As you mentioned, 1-2 count. Obviously having to protect the plate a little bit more. Kind of got himself into that hole pretty early in the count. So good eye right there, not swinging at that one.
This one fouled off. Passes by the press box and goes over towards the Windies.
If you're in the drive-thru right now, look out.
Yeah, definitely don't have a sunroof open at this point. If you do have a sunroof open, please close it. It's a little chilly, too.
They didn't tell you that the $5 biggie bag also comes with a complimentary baseball.
Wow. Even a throw-in sponsor for someone who doesn't sponsor us here on WVUR. Another attempt at pickoff is no good as Tucker is back in time. Gilhouse to deal. Throws this one down outside. Schmack takes another ball, 2-2 count. This one almost feels like, even with no outs, kind of a crucial at-bat.
No, absolutely. And even right there, going pitch by pitch here, that one, easily someone could have swung at that one. Ooh.
Schmack looks, takes, And it's going to be strike 3 as Kyle Schmack strikes out as he went on the attempted pitch. Now coming in, number 30, Brady Renfro, the first baseman. He's had a home run here in this game, hasn't had a hit yet since. This is his 5th at-bat here in this competition.
But, I mentioned this the last time he was out there. Right now in this clutch situation, I'm thinking, is there really anyone else I would want up to bat right now? You have Nolan Tucker over on first base, and we have Brady Renfro coming up to bat, trying to pick off the runner, still unable to do so.
When I said 5th at bat, I really actually meant 5th attempt at the plate, because in terms of looking at the stats, as he just hits this one short, pitcher picks it up, light throw on over to first, gets him just in time. But even before then, before he even had the out, he had a home run, walk, he was hit by a pitch, and then flew on out over towards center field. So offered up some good opportunities. A runner on second, 2 outs. We're tied. Almost looking like we're getting a taste of extra innings.
Oh, I could definitely see that in the future, but then you never know. You got a runner in scoring position right now, and baseball, anything could happen.
Jake Skrine at the plate. This one pitch outside for a ball. Skrine has yet to hit here in this competition this afternoon, hitting .264 on the season. With a runner in scoring position, hitting .250. Swings at one way outside, really. 1-1 count.
Nah, those are just in this kind of situation in the game. You don't really want to be swinging at stuff that's not close. Sometimes you have those, it could go either way. Is that a ball or strike? But that one, almost the same pitch.
A wild pitch. Runner advances to third. Tucker rounds third, steps back. Now a big opportunity here offered up for Jake Skrine.
As a pitcher, this is not where you want. Obviously, you never want to have a wild pitch, but when you have a runner in scoring position, you immediately saw everybody was telling him go, 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 because he had time. It's not like there's this brick back wall right here that can make the ball kind of bounce back a little bit easier. It was just rolling.
Nolan Tucker, a good base runner and a smart base runner. Not only is he smart, he's also fast on the bases, a dangerous base runner of Nolan Tucker. Gilhouse deals. This one fouled off by Jake Skrine. 2-2 count. 2 outs, runner on third. Gilhouse looking to make this extra innings. Skrine looking to change the game and bring in a win here at home. Gilhouse settles. Now deals. This one fouled off once again by Jake Skrine. You can almost feel the silence around us.
Yeah, and I'm looking at both sides of the dugout right now. I looked when that hit happened. People in Milwaukee's dugouts, they're jumping because they're just on the edge of their seat. And then you see Valpo over there, people turning around and stuff like that. It's just this kind of part of the game when it can go either way, a nail-biter, really.
Inside pitch, Skrine spinning around. It's going to be a 3-2 full count here for the DH. Taps home plate, looks on out. Lead off by Tucker. Pretty short lead off on third base. Now gets a bit bigger. Skrine awaits. He hits this one. This one goes out foul towards the left field line. Still offers up with a 3-2 full count.
And obviously right here with a runner on third here, even a base hit for the most part will advance that runner. Just even a base hit, ball 4. Just get on base right now. Obviously going to do his best to try to advance the runner.
Even just a line to short center field would be the prime opportunity. Skrine strikes out looking. Not happy with the call as he walks off the field. Man, we're going to end up tied here as we're going to head to extra innings. Looking here in this game, you never know what to expect. We'll see you in the 10th. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
At Wings Etc., we love sports. So much that we packed our walls with tons of big flat screens tuned to the very best in sports programming. At Wings Etc., we love big, cooked to tender, crisp perfection wings. And so do our fans who have voted our wings best in more and more cities across the Midwest. At Wings Etc., we love beer. We love it so much that we have over 40 different kinds of beers in bottles and on tap, including your favorite regional craft beers. Wings Etc. at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
TicketSmarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than TicketSmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we go on from 9 to 10. We're here in extra innings. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Addy Bates. We're tied here at 6-all. And yes, there are no lights here at Emory G. Bauer Field. It's something that they're looking to invest in the future. So it's getting pretty dark here. But Valpo looking to close out this game. Milwaukee looking to do the same as Nate DeYoung. Excuse me. Not Nate DeYoung. They're bringing in a different player to hit for DeYoung. Not listed on the Milwaukee non-starters either in this competition. Swings this one out foul.
I think that's Tommy Benson.
It is Tommy Benson. I'm looking at the entire wrong thing on my
You're
spot
all
chart.
good.
Thanks, Addy.
Of course. Yeah, you mentioned no lights here. I guess that is a true Chicagoland fashion. Trying to be just like the Cubs in the 70s. No lights here.
Gets caught looking. That one's for strike 3. Good job by Bobby Nowak to offer up the opportunity as Tommy Benson, who I mentioned was not enlisted in the non-starters because he started in this competition, so that would only make entire sense.
No worries.
Nowak deals this one inside, down low for a strike.
JP knows what's going on here. I wish I brought my parka in here right now.
If you want, I got a North Face back somewhere in here. Making another joke over here. I see JP.
Really should have him on the call.
We should have him on the call.
Great.
At least he would know who's up at bat of Tommy Benson, unlike myself. Nowak deals. This one goes out foul, out of play.
It looks like it got lost in the sun. The little kid out there just really couldn't read the ball immediately. Dropping the shoulder and running right as soon as he could, but couldn't get the out in foul territory.
And another strikeout by Bobby Nowak. He strikes out Justin Hauser. 2 strikeouts back-to-back. Looking to clean things up here. Number 26, Jack Thielen, the catcher for Milwaukee.
Now, I do hear some people in the crowd right now. If I didn't know any better, I would assume that was programming director Oliver Vanofskis. Loud and proud for Valpo, right below us.
Might actually be. Actually, a good thing about Oliver is if you go to our Instagram page, you can see we were at the ISP convention where he won 3rd place for on-air personality.
And he rightfully so. I mean, he's done a lot for this station this year, bringing back trivia, something that hasn't been there for a long time. He has his own shows. He's really brought on a lot of new members, so I was very proud of him for his performance there. I know he was aiming for 1st, but man, for the state of Indiana, 3rd's not too bad.
It's a big competition.
Absolutely.
Pitch down low, outside for a ball. Now 2-1 count. The thing is, Oliver, I've been a programming director before GM and, also involved in sports, of course, and he's added double the shows that I've added. So kudos to him for his work as programming director.
No, it's crazy when you look at the programming board. I mean, we actually really don't have that many spots where there's not a show going on,
right,
which is something people say all the time, oh, radio's dying or something like that. But if you were to just look at WVUR, very exciting.
This one on over to the 3rd baseman, and it's going to be a 5-3 out. Nice job by Valpo. 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts. 1 ends up in and out. Valpo looking to finish things off here in the bottom of the 10th. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, castrac.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And if you liked extra innings, this game definitely is one for you. As we head to the bottom of the 10th inning, we're tied at 6-all here as Valpo is going to see if they can close things out here for their first season home opener in Valparaiso. I'm Zach Allen sitting alongside Addy Bates, and Valpo's not only looking to do that here, Addy, they're looking to break a 6-game losing streak as well.
No, absolutely. And like we talked about at the beginning of this show, kind of snapping that 6-game losing streak so when they're going into conference play, very important here. They've had a couple different opportunities to do that during this game. Obviously just can't closing it up.
Right.
Weren't able to. It's now in the bottom of the 10th here, but luckily, top of the 10th. 3 up, 3 down. Beautiful outing right now. So I'm excited to see what happens next.
Ryan Maka is going to come up to the plate to bat here for Valpo. He's had a single so far here in this game in his first at-bat. Watches one go by inside for a strike. Pitcher deals the second of Mike Sullivan, who's coming to this game to pitch here for Milwaukee. Another pitching change for the Panthers. We've had 7 pitching changes here in this competition.
That's, before I said, when in doubt, just take the pitcher out. That's kind of what they're doing here.
Well, they seem to have been in doubt quite often in this game. 1-2 count now offered on Maka. Sullivan deals. This one high, and he strikes out swinging. Maka not able to get that one down as the first out is offered up. But Spencer Warfield coming up to the plate. He's also only had a single here, 2 strikeouts and a walk so far here this afternoon, which is almost now evening, if we want to call it that way.
No, absolutely. And this late in the game, even another single would do wonders here. You get one person on base. Okay, let's build that momentum back up. Hopefully, you put someone on base for the batter. Feel a little bit more comfortable up there.
Warfield swings on the first, watches the second. Now just an 0-2 count with 1 out. Hits this one, goes right to the shortstop, picks this one up, throws it on over to first. And the 6-3 play offers up in the second out of the competition.
I mentioned this a couple times, but something really interesting about this game, kind of had some longer innings in the first half. But now, I feel like they're just flying by here. Just 3 up, 3 down. These quick plays, pretty routine. Nothing crazy happening. Now we're in the bottom of the 10th.
High pitch for a ball to Reinertson. And, it was a quick game early. You think about it, yeah, we're about 3 hours in, but overall, to go to extra innings and be in this time frame, we've seen games in just regulation
that ball
go quite some time.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No,
That ball
fine.
almost hitting someone. I don't think you realize how close that was to his head.
So you have an advantage point that I don't. I kind of have a bit of a barrier over here, and you're able to see kind of over towards the out of play zone.
Kind of
to
in
the
a
left side.
kind of in typical dad fashion there. He was already sitting down. He was like, I'm here. I'm not moving. He almost could have got hit in the head because of it.
Reinertson hitting one down the left foul line. Does end up going foul. Looked to almost be fair for a second. Just taking a bounce out. You do get some wild bounces here on the turf as well. The 1-2. Just outside. Good take by Reinertson. Now holding at 2-2. Tied at 6-all here in the bottom of the 10th inning.
Now, this is something that could also be pretty interesting. Got a notification that it was supposed to start raining here. I didn't think it was supposed to rain, but now I'm seeing some dark clouds right above us. I don't think it'll actually rain, but, man, that would be an interesting twist to this game.
Reinertson fouling this one off as well as it goes over the press box. You know, this is one moment where I hope you were more wrong than you've ever been wrong before, and so are our meteorologists, which I just hope this is the instance they are wrong. And strike three gets caught swinging. Ends the bottom of the 10th inning. We're trying to still catch some sunlight here as we're going to head to the top of the 11th inning. Extra inning action coming up for you here, so stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Valparaiso Baseball right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
TicketSmarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than TicketSmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry Howie's!
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And if you like some long games, we've got one for you here. Heading to the top of the 11th inning, we're tied at 6-all. Milwaukee's going to be up at bat here. They're going to bring up number 2, Ty Oljanek, the center fielder for the Panthers.
Now, something you don't see all the time if you're looking at the scoreboard out there, obviously just going to 10 innings, having to reset that now for going into the 11th.
It almost looks like we're starting off a game, but it's 6-6, and teams have a lot of hits early, but there's no score up.
Yeah, you're looking at that 11 hits for Milwaukee, 10 for Valpo, and we're tied 6-6.
Wow. You never know what you're going to get in baseball, and this one offering up some extra innings, but good baseball at that as that pitch is outside for a strike. An 0-2 count now at Oljanek. Bobby Nowak still pitching here in this game with a 1.80 ERA. Ball fouled off towards the left side, goes out of play. Still an 0-2 count.
Looks like we have our designated foul ball kid out there running to go get it.
Love the effort by the designated foul ball kid.
Absolutely, you know. Oh, it looks like we have someone from the baseball team as well. It's going to be a battle. Who gets to keep this baseball? But are you going to take away a ball from a little kid, though? That's the question.
We've seen it a lot in MLB, which is unfortunate.
No.
I've never actually had an opportunity to catch a foul ball in a game.
So,
in terms of being a fan, at least.
So at an Astros game, my uncle was there, and he caught that foul ball with his hand, and oh my gosh, I think his hand was bruised.
Wow.
For weeks. Because even just come straight up and down,
right.
I mean, you got to think about how hard that is.
Pitch outside for a ball. Now a 3-2 full count. Oljanek looking for an opportunity here.
I think my only prize from a baseball game. I was actually pretty proud of this. I was eating ice cream out of, one of those little hats that they give you. And they were throwing there's a T-shirt cannon. And I had it. Wow.
And ball 4, Oljanek's going to take a little walk on over to first. Oljanek coming into that at-bat was 3 of 4. So he walks him. Maybe a good opportunity as he's just over at first base. But now you're bringing up Luke Siddell, the leadoff hitter for Milwaukee.
No, absolutely. You have a chance for a double play here, but we haven't really seen that today, so don't want to just be throwing that out.
Siddell had a double on the last attempt, fouls this one off.
That was interesting. Showing bunt, foul ball, bunting.
It was a high foul ball, too, off of a bunt.
But I'll continue really quickly. I was eating my ice cream. OBJ, that infamous catch there. That was me with the T-shirt.
Wow.
Yeah. So
did he replicate you or did you replicate him?
I'd like to think he actually took some notes from my catch.
Okay.
Ice cream, spoon in mouth, ice cream. I didn't spill it.
Wow.
I think that was the biggest win of the day, was not spilling the ice cream. You go to a ballpark, that's like a $10 cup of ice cream.
It's probably like $12 now, actually.
Unbelievable.
Pitch goes. Strike here once again. Siddell not happy with the call by the home plate umpire. 0-2 count. He's going to have to swing here.
Hearing someone from the audience, I think I know who that is, too. Telling him to bunt foul again.
He's still showing bunt. Able to knock that bunt down the first base line. Picks it up, loses it for a second, and the glove comes off. Runs on over, runner at third. One stays at first. Wow. Miscommunication. No glove, flying off. And head coach Brian Schmack is going to head over to talk with the first base umpire.
Kind of as soon as that happened, you saw Brady turn around, kind of throwing his hands in the air, kind of looking at the ump like, hey, look at that. And I think that's the reason why Schmack's coming out. Maybe he was thinking he got hit, runners interference or something like that. Like, wow. Because not only did you just advance the runner, not from just first to second, but now he's all the way at third, which is obviously what you want to do on a bunt.
Right.
But now you have all the umpires coming out to talk with one another.
This is one I'm not going to mark yet because, honestly, I couldn't see it from the angle that it was particularly at. But if it was runner's interference, that could be a big change here in this game.
No, absolutely. And I kind of had a clear view from right here, but this is another call kind of talking about earlier today. Could have gone either way. At first, I really couldn't tell if the runner actually hit the glove just from right here.
Sure.
Or if something else just happened, ball kind of coming in weird and something else. But the way he turned around and immediately looked at the talking about Brady here, makes me think that he was saying, no, that's exactly what happened, runner's interference.
Brady Renfroe you don't see him unhappy too often.
I'm now getting told from the TV perspective that should have been interference.
Umpires talking with one another, waiting for an explanation, and he's giving it to him, and they're very unhappy with.
So what they're saying, obviously with radio we have a different perspective, but on TV my dad was saying here, runner raised his arm and hit the glove of the first baseman. See, this is something I wish we had an instant replay from right here. I'm just replaying it in my mind over and over again. Like, what did I see?
Interesting.
Wow. So a couple calls not going Valpo's way today. Obviously, you don't want this being the reason why Milwaukee wins.
Now at bat here for Milwaukee. Pulls back. It's going to be counted as a strike. At bat number 8, Nathan Ebersol. The right-handed hitting junior. His first attempt at bat here in this game. Dill swings at a strike.
They have runners on second and third, so both in scoring position here. The infield's kind of moved in. He's swinging for anything.
Now 0-2. And strikes out on the attempt as that one goes off and goes right into the catcher's mitt. Nice job, offers up the first out with runners on first and third. It's almost like I was a little slow to the party as I knew what I was going to say, but I was trying to write and talk at the same time, and asking me to do that is like asking anything else to happen. And they're going to advance the runner on over to first.
These are one of these situations. One, I wish people could also see what it looks like in here. I mean, you have two laptops going.
Right.
You have the soundboard here. You have all your notes. Then you also have your scoreboard here. Really juggling a lot of things all at once, so it's okay. Forgive you for being a little slow for one play.
Well, thank you. Pitch goes on the outside, that one for strike. And since I've run out of room on my scorecard, I'm going to have to make little dots on the side of where the at-bats should be and the hits should be. Bunt lands down. That's going to be foul. 0-2 count with one out. Bases loaded. Number 2, Ty Oljanek on third base for Milwaukee. Bobby Nowak in a tight situation. He deals. This one goes outside. Swing. Strike 3. Mark Connolly strikes out. Swinging. Struck out at his last at-bat. Watching that one come in. Strikes out swing on that attempt.
And now, so here's my opinion on this one. When you have bases loaded, and if you saw him, he was kind of swinging for the fences. I mean, he swung out of his shoes on that one there. Really, just a hit in the outfield would bring a runner in. You don't need to be swinging exactly for the fences. In my opinion, you just want to advance all the runners one base at a time.
First pitch, a ball to Nathan DeYoung. DeYoung hitting .212 on the season. However, he's hitting .273 with runners in scoring position. Fouls this one off as that one goes towards the parking lot.
There goes our kid. We have 2 now.
Oh, we've added one.
They realize extra innings, that means extra kids.
I mean, 2 extra innings, you get another kid. I mean, what's going to happen next if we get to the 12th? You never know. This one fouled off. Hits the back netting behind home plate. A 1-2 count for Nate DeYoung.
Valpo now has someone warming up in the bullpen.
Two outs, 1-2. Delivers, strikes out swinging. Can't ask for anything better from Bobby Nowak as he's able to finish the top of the 11th, and Milwaukee ends up scoreless with bases loaded. We'll head to the bottom of the 11th inning. We'll see you back here in just 60 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
At Wings Etc., we love sports. So much that we packed our walls with tons of big flat screens tuned to the very best in sports programming. At Wings Etc., we love big, cooked to tender, crisp perfection wings. And so do our fans who have voted our wings best in more and more cities across the Midwest. At Wings Etc., we love beer. We love it so much that we have over 40 different kinds of beers in bottles and on tap, including your favorite regional craft beers. Wings Etc. at 501 North Silhaven in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Anything can happen in this game. Really anything can happen as we're to the bottom of the 11th inning. Valpo is up at bat of Alex Thurston, the shortstop. He's offered up with a double with an advancement here in this competition so far. The rest of them, 6-3 play, and a strikeout.
Man, they're going the top of the 11th there, the power of good pitching. I mean, going into this game, we said we know the hitting's going to be there, and it obviously is 10 hits for Valpo today. We said going into this, what has to also be solid is pitching.
Right.
That right there was a prime example. You had the bases loaded and getting out of the inning, 0 runs.
I mean, it's just we've seen some really good things in this competition. We'll see what this one offers up here as that one's a shot in the gap, stopped by the shortstop. Looks like he's going to beat it out, and he's going to be safe at first. Nice job by Alex Thurston. Be able to get the single on a hard hit and some good base running over to first.
Perfect. I mean, the shortstop having to dive for that one, so obviously having to kind of get up a little bit, gave the runner some extra time there, and was there with a lot of time to spare, in my opinion.
But even continuing your conversation before, Bobby Nowak, just what an inning. It looked like he was going to bring it, and I mean, just with 1 out. At one point, we had the bases loaded, and he's able to just finish off the game in style.
Absolutely, and I was telling you that they started having someone warm up in the bullpen, and it's just, can he get out of that inning? Anything could have happened at one point, like you said. There were 0 outs, 1 out with people on base, and getting out of it with bases loaded. And I also would like to think that Milwaukee, a lot of times they were swinging hard at them and swinging at stuff they really shouldn't have been swinging at. But of course, Bobby was starting to deal. He was putting it anywhere, and they would swing at it, and obviously working in Bobby's favor.
Throw on over to first. Runner is safe. But, yeah, I mean, just impressive pitching effort by Bobby Nowak. Seen a lot of really impressive efforts here in this game by both sides.
No, absolutely. And then after that inning, just watching him walk towards the dugout. I mean, the dugout on Valpo's side, electric to end the top of the 11th.
Pitch on outside. Runner advances on over to second. It is a different runner. I did not actually hear. It's going to be Ryan, who's pitch running for Thurston. So Valpo offering up some speed on the field of Alex Ryan, number 17, the junior.
Excuse me,
You're
sorry.
fine.
Taking a good lead off of second. I'd like to add that.
Steps off for just a second, looks back. The pitcher, Mike Sullivan, just holding the ball here. 1.17 ERA. Has a 133 average with runners even in scoring position. Sullivan, a very good player here for this Milwaukee squad. Offers up a strike right down the pipe. A 1-1 count. Currently at bat, number 15, Caleb Hannes.
Going back to the top of the lineup here with a runner in scoring position. 0 outs.
6-6, we're tied all here, bottom of the 11th inning. Sullivan looking back. Hannes taking time here as he steps out of the batter's box. Hannes still waiting here as he's going to be stepping in just shortly. Umpire even came off for just a second. Looks like he noted something down. No changes, however.
Yeah. That was interesting.
It was interesting.
I heard someone in the crowd saying, ice the pitcher.
High fly ball out to right field. This one's going deep. Hits the fence. Runner rounding third. He's heading home. And that is going to be game. Valpo takes the win at their series home opener. Valpo ends a 6-game losing streak as Alex Ryan crosses home plate and the Beacons celebrate in fashion. Addy, you cannot ask for anything better than that.
Wow. Just talking about how it can go either way so quickly. I mean, we thought with Milwaukee, bases loaded, oh, someone has to score here. No. Right here, you just have a runner on second. You hit a fly ball all the way deep right field, and just like that, you slowly advance the runner. Valpo 6-7 after 11 innings.
Caleb Hannes, the game winner, out to deep right field, hits the fence. And you could even see the right fielder, Tommy Benson, just watch that one drop. Just knew that once it hit the warning track, this game was over.
No, poor Tommy. The second time that's happened this game where a ball has just gone over his head, and he kind of knows there's nothing he can do about it. But what a way to end the first game at home this season. It's been a long road trip, but coming back here, snapping that losing streak, a lot of good coming out of this game.
Valpo's record is going to advance to 8-10 overall, snapping that losing streak. Milwaukee is going to fall to 9-12 on the season. But these two teams, in just a few days, will see each other once again. So lots of action still to come out of this matchup. But Valpo pulling the win out in extra innings, 7-6, the final score here. We're going to head to the post-game show, but not before a media timeout. We'll see you back here in 90 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Ticket Smarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURthesource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
This evening's post-game show is brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. LBJI is proud to be the official team physicians of Valparaiso University Athletics. Valpo wins their season home opener in wonderful fashion, 7-6 over Milwaukee. I'm Zach Allen sitting alongside Addy Bates. And Addy, you could have not asked for any way better to end this game.
No, absolutely. We were talking about some of these quick innings happening there, kind of on the edge of our seat, the top of the 11th, then going into the bottom there. Got a runner on pretty quickly, pants him over to second, and just like that, hitting that bomb to right field, and it was over. I mean, even the outfielder, we mentioned that before we left, he knew it was over. He kind of almost throwing up his arms, throwing in the white flag. But what a way to end the home opener.
You couldn't ask for really any better as a Valpo fan to this game. If you're Milwaukee, that's just a devastating loss. And really, to mention, I mean, they competed very well here in this game. Even with the likes looking at Luke Sedelius, 3 of 6 here in this competition. Looking even at Ty Oljanek, he was 3 of 4 here in this game against Valparaiso. As we kind of look into some of the stats here in this competition. Looking onto the Valpo side, Caleb Hannes with the game winner hit 3 of 4 here in this game, 261 overall on the season. Sitting just right behind him, and even just right behind him in the lineup, the second baseman, number 1, Nolan Tucker, 2 of 5 here in this game as well. He offered up some good opportunities as well. And even one of the bigger ones in this game, Brady Renfro with a big home run in his first at-bat here at home. I mean, really, yes, we win extra innings. Yes, we might be freezing here in this press box a little bit. But, Addy, you could not have asked for any better kind of competition like this, especially coming into this game. And pitching one heck of a game was Bobby Nowak.
No, absolutely. No, we talked about going into this game. We knew that both teams had these powerful hitters, both having 12 hits on the game. Then Bobby Nowak coming in, probably, I don't know if there's a situation where you need to be more clutch than he was in that inning. And then, of course, going to the bottom, Caleb Hannes coming in. There was a reason why he's the leadoff on the lineup, in my opinion. Like you mentioned, going 3 for 4 today, coming in clutch there. But, yeah, Bobby Nowak pitching 3.1 innings, only actually allowing 1 hit, walked a couple batters there. But at a moment in time, the bases were loaded. You're like, oh, somebody has to score, right? You would think with the bases loaded, not even 2 outs, or at one point 1 out, somebody has to score. But nope, he came in clutch, and his ERA for the season, 1.64.
Wow. I mean, it's just impressive stuff. And even Mike Sullivan in this game had impressive numbers. I mean, really, he just didn't allow too much up until the later part of the game, and that last hit ended the competition. I mean, Milwaukee finished off the top of the 11th with bases loaded, 1 out. Strikes them both out.
I mean, I don't know if there's really a lot of situations where that can happen. I also want to note something in the difference between Milwaukee and Valpo here. The number of pitchers used by Milwaukee, they're trying to get something new in, trying to have these batters see something they haven't seen before.
Right.
Obviously, kind of not working in their favor, whereas Valpo is kind of taking something on the opposite end of the spectrum. Ryan Mintz going 5 innings, and we have Grant Jablowski coming in 2.2, and then, of course, Bobby Nowak at the end, 3.1 innings. So only using 3 pitchers, where you look at Milwaukee kind of using 8 or 9 pitchers.
Right. I mean, Milwaukee used pretty much almost the entirety of their bullpen, having 7 pitch here in this competition. You look to the opposite side of Valpo, and they only offered up 3 pitchers here in this competition, and finishing it off with style, Bobby Nowak, and he's got to be the Gastonia Tractor player of the game. Just closed out the inning with fashion, pitched quite a game as well. As, I mean, just looking at him overall, you could not have asked for any better player in that circumstance.
No, absolutely not. I mean, we talked about going into, the pitching's got to be important, and I totally agree. He is going to be our player of the game just for the fact that I don't know if there was any other pitcher on the mound that could have handled the pressure that he was handling at that moment and kind of come in clutch like he did.
I mean, he only gave up 1 hit here in this game, 7 strikeouts overall, and no runs in the competition. The starter in this game, Mintz, pitched 5 innings, had 8 hits, and 4 earned runs. Coming in, Jablonski pitched 2.2 innings with 3 hits and 2 earned runs in the game. So Nowak gets the win. He's 2-0 on the season in 3.1 innings pitched with 7 strikeouts and 1.64 ERA. I mean, impressive stuff we're seeing out of Nowak, even just so far this season, and especially here in this game against Milwaukee to take a big win, because without his performance here this evening, Valpo wouldn't even had a chance to take a win.
No, absolutely not. And like we mentioned, they're going to be playing Milwaukee in Milwaukee next week. So this is actually going to be a great kind of like propel them into next week. Both teams know what each team look like. Obviously, you're probably going to be facing different pitchers by that point. But I think going forward, Milwaukee, if there's one pitcher they do not want to face anymore, it's probably Bobby Nowak.
I 100% agree. Bobby Nowak just had one heck of a game. And really, it was a game that he came in and we thought, all right, this is a good pitching change. And it ended up being a great pitching change as the Beacons take a win 7-6 over Milwaukee. Looking ahead for Valparaiso, they're going to be taking on March 31st Murray State at 3 o'clock on the 1st and the 2nd of April. Both games slated for a 1 o'clock start against the Racers. Murray State, a team that has really developed baseball over the time in their history. And I even heard players last season talking about when Murray State first joined the Valley, man, that's going to be a heck of a baseball game. They didn't even think basketball first. Their first thought was that's going to be a great baseball game.
No, absolutely. When you talk about these new teams that are joining the Valley here, obviously you haven't played them as much as you've played other teams that have been in the Valley for a long time. So kind of going into it, you kind of don't know what to expect. If you're looking at Murray State here, sure, on paper, they don't look super impressive. Only 1-2 in conference on the season. But like we mentioned before, it's so early in the season.
Right.
I don't think that's the best judge of how this matchup is going to be. I'm actually really intrigued to see how it could go. Like you said, they're going to be playing 3 games. Not just 1, not 2, but 3. So plenty of opportunities to show what they have, like they did today.
And Valpo showing it all as they win 7-6 overall here in this competition. Really almost tonight, because it's a 6:30 just about now here. And any final thoughts before we close things out here on our LBJI postgame show?
You know, like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if there was a game that could have really been as great as a home opener as this one here. I think what we saw today was a great matchup between two teams, not really, going one way or the other like the whole entire time. I mean, it was pretty balanced. And I think going into next week when they face Milwaukee again, I think we're going to see that again. I think Valpo did a great job showing their stuff today, showing why they defeated, a ranked team earlier in the season, and hopefully going to improve this going on as they face more people in conference.
Definitely look out for Valpo. They're a fighting force coming this season as they're able to top over the Panthers 7-6 in 11 innings of action. We'd like to give a quick shout out to our sponsors who made our broadcast possible, including Calumet Brewing, Gastonia Tractor, Wings Etc., Lakeshore Bone and Joint, Northwest Health, First Source Bank, Hungry Howie's, Culver's, IBEW, Royal Excursion, and Ticket Smarter. This Valparaiso baseball broadcast has been an exclusive presentation of Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment. The general manager of Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment for Valpo Athletics is Blair Minton. This broadcast has been an exclusive presentation of Valparaiso baseball right here on WVUR The Source 95. And any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of WVUR is prohibited. The general manager of WVUR is myself, Zach Collins. The sports director for WVUR is Noah Gonsell. And the assistant sports director for WVUR is Soren Burkholder. Once again, your final score here from Emory G. Bauer Field is Valparaiso 7, Milwaukee 6. For Addy Bates, I'm Zach Collins. Thank you for listening to another presentation of Valparaiso Beacons baseball right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Enjoy what is left of your Tuesday night, and we'll see you back here on WVUR as we say so long from the Vale of Paradise.
That was another presentation of Valparaiso Beacon Athletics on WVUR The Source 95, the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of WVUR The Source 95 is prohibited. We thank you for listening to today's contest as we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming on WVUR The Source 95 Valparaiso, the official home of Beacon Athletics.